Chapter-181-200 Anbu Myth. Blood Mist. Mito Jing screamed. No doubt he knew who Blood Mist was. Kurigakure has only one Blood Mist, that is Captain Kurigakure Anbu. The code name of Blood Mist has existed in Kurigakure Anbu for nearly 20 years. There are not many people who have seen the true face of Blood Mist, but very few Konoha Anbu ninjas who have never heard of this name. Yes, it's Blood Mist. Luhan continued, it was the name back then. Uchiha Gumu called him Lord Blood Mist, and he came to meet Uchiha Gumu on behalf of the top officials of Kurigakure. There was a palpitating silence. Bewildered. Let Konoha Anbu ninjas go through brutal training, let them be outstanding in the worst or jonin, let them be firm-hearted, and they all fall into an incomprehensible horror at this moment. It's horror. It from another angle, how would they react if Captain Konoha Anbu was killed? Although Captain Kurigakure Anbu is not as powerful as Captain Konoha Anbu, and the strongest fighting force of Kurigakure Anbu is the 7 ninja swordsmen, but for Konoha Anbu ninjas standing around Luhan at this time, Captain Kurigakure Anbu is still an invincible and powerful being. The strongest Mito Kyo is just a more excellent elite jonin. And the strength of Captain Kurigakure Anbu has surpassed the elite jonin. The ninja of this strength can be called the ultra elite, or the peak jonin, and there is no accurate level. It is simply unimaginable that he will die in the hands of Lord Hengwang. Lord Hengwang is especially jonin. His strength lies in his excellent scout ability and godlike tracking and anti-tracking skills. These are not including Mito Jing. More than 20 Anbu ninjas can compare, so they are willing to be dispatched by Lord Hengwang, and do their best to protect their safety. Be more precise, Lord Hengwang is a strategic ninja. Among the high-ranking Konoha people, it has no great strength but is extremely important and is admired. Whenever this kind of ninja is mentioned, names such as Kaharu Utatane and Homura Mitokado will be mentioned. An icy feeling appeared in the hearts of every Anbu ninja. Luhan has a mysterious color that makes people completely invisible. He really deserves his Anbu code name, Han Guang. Cold light has the meaning of killing knife light. Even more terrifying is that Lord Hengwang did not kill one person, but 3. All 3 are stronger than him. Han, Lord Hengwang. Mito Jing had some concluding remarks. How? At the same time, 2 Anbu ninjas had already approached Shueimist's head, as if to check something. The mask on Shueimist's head had been removed, revealing a slightly old face that looked more than 50 years old. It's a bit complicated to say, a lot has happened. Luhan's voice was a lot more indifferent. It wasn't that he was pretending, but that he maintained his dignity in front of his subordinates, which helped to make his position more stable, more like a superior. I used poison, and they were poisoned by me at the same time. Luhan didn't say much. He didn't need to say much about the geninist. He only needed to go back and report the situation to Hokage. Because the process was very tortuous, Luhan really couldn't explain it all at once. Tongshin Dafu is the elite jonin of Kurigakure village. But he saw an Anbu ninja who was examining the head of the blood fog looking up. It was the temporary team leader Huoyan. Tongshin Dafu retired from Kurigakure village 8 years ago and no longer executes. The reason for the mission is an incurable internal injury. Before retiring, he went to the Land of Thunder to perform a mission to spy on the intelligence of the 8 Tails, and it was because of that mission that he was injured and retired. The blood mist of Captain Kurigakure Anbu. Most Konoha Anbu ninjas maintain this dual identity, and so does Kurigakure. Injured retired elite jonin. It is easy to speculate that he is the captain of Kurigakure Anbu who became 8 years ago. This is Ghost Tide River, the 3rd captain of the Kurigakure Defense Force. The latest information from half a year ago, he is the elite jonin. Was an elite jonin 8 years ago. His strength was unknown before his death, but he was definitely stronger than 8 years ago. Ghost Lantern Chouhei is the elite jonin. Uchiha Goki's strength is also extremely close to the elite jonin. All dead. Lord Hengwang, with only special jonin strength. The 4 words, Anbu myth, flashed through the minds of all the people present, and they all thought of the former Anbu myth, Zhaohai. Originally, very few people remembered the Jouhai from Konoha Anbu, but at that cold storage after the autopsy, hesitant Shimura Hozo said something about Konoha, who was already known to the Konoha Anbu ninja. Now, Kokai is dead, and he is in the past tense. It seems that someone has taken Jouhai's place. Became the new Anbu myth. He is younger than Jouhai when he succeeds, and he is better than Jouhai. Because even in the most glorious year of his exploits, Jouhai never killed a high-level hostile figure like Captain Anbu, but he did it. Cold light. Don't be stunned. Luhan spoke again, breaking the cold atmosphere. Wrap these 3 heads in wax and bring them back to Konoha. We will withdraw immediately. The situation is not optimistic. We are not sure when Kurigakure will block the water. The whole country. Kurigakure must negotiate with the daimyo of the Land of Water to do so. We still have time to escape. Hurry up. Quote. Yes, your lord. There was a roar of promise. The morning, Kurigakure village, the Land of Water. Inside the 7-story tower, there is an empty and huge battle arena on the first floor. Munashi Guichi and Zhongheim are standing opposite each other holding ordinary long swords. The atmosphere is dignified, and the battle is about to break out. Around the battle arena, the other 5 members of the 7 ninja blades of mist stood everywhere, some nibbling on fruit, some squatting on the ground, all of them looking lazily watching the battle. Learn from each other. Among the 7 members of the Ninja Sword of Mist, only Zhongheim can compete with Munashi Ghost 7. There is almost no difference in strength between the two. Zhongheim has always refused to accept Munashi Ghost 7, and will always challenge and learn from each other. Challenge. Call. A whirlwind suddenly swept aside, and a middle-aged elite Jonin appeared out of thin air, the Mizukage guard. Mizukage, Sama let you go, emergency. The middle-aged ninja said quickly. The news of Hengguang, Munashi Guichi asked rhetorically. Chapter-181-200 He is the cold light. The 7 members of the Mist Ninja Sword have returned to the village of Kurigakure for a few days. They have not gone to look for the cold light, because there are only 7 of them, and the country of water is so big. Only 7 of them searched like headless flies and could find it. Weird. The village of Kurigakure has already sent a large number of scout ninjas and Anbu ninjas to search the country of water. The 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist only need to wait for news. They need a clue. As long as there is a clue to track down the cold light, they have the opportunity to act. As an archipelago country, the country of water has a large number of seabird ninja beasts, so in the country of water, the speed of information transmission is very fast. The inner hall of the army of the Land of Water. A bird with blue feathers on its head and the size of a slap stood on the back of a chair and was combing its feathers. There was only one person in the inner hall, walking back and forth in front of the window, looking extremely anxious. The man was tall and thin, over 40 years old. Age, with a mustache on his mouth. Mizukage, the 2nd generation of Kurigakure village in the Land of Water, Ghost Lantern Moon. Call, 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 call. 7 whirlwinds rolled up at the same time, and the 7 people of the Ninja Blade of Mist appeared one after another, looking at the back of the ghost lamp and the moon. All respectfully said, Mizukage, Sama. In Kurigakure village, only Mizukage is the only one who can be treated respectfully by the 7 people of the Mizukage Ninja Sword. It cannot be denied that there are more powerful and higher status existences in Kurigakure village, such as the current Mizukage assistant, who once served as the 1st-generation Mizukage escort, a middle-aged man who is regarded as his successor by the current 2nd-generation Mizukage. But it is difficult for the group of 7 people to regard that middle-aged man as a respectful object, because that man is not strong enough. That person can defeat Munashi Ghost 7, but he can't beat the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. In the village of Kurigakure, there is only Ghost Lantern Moon, and he has the strength to completely crush the 7 ninja swordsmen of mist. Considered as the most powerful 3rd generation in the 5 shadows, Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, Ghost Lantern Huanyu's strength is not much worse than Sarutobi Hiruzen. If it is a battle of life and death, although Sarutobi Hiruzen will kill Ghost Lan Huan Yu, he himself may not be able to survive. Greeting. Munashi Kiichi's expression changed slightly, and his eyes swept across the room. The table leaning against the wall had been broken into pieces. There was a big hole on the wall, and it was cracked all over, as if it had been smashed out. Cabinets for storing documents, wooden racks for decorations, weapon racks, bird cages nailed to the wall, etc. Almost all the furnishings in the inner hall were destroyed in a mess, as if someone had beaten them up. Naturally, it was smashed by the ghost lantern and the moon. At this moment, Gaidong Wanyu still has extremely unstable violent chakra fluctuations rising from his body. In terms of his strength, only when his emotions are excited, and when he is so excited that he can't control it, will he have this kind of uncontrollable chakra condition. Munashi Kiichi can't imagine what happened to make the calm-hearted Mizukage-sama become so irritable. Sir, what happened? Munashi Kiichi asked directly. Ghost Lantern Wanyu, who had stopped and stood in front of the window, turned his back to the group of 7 people. His shoulders fluctuated violently. He took a deep breath and calmed down his emotions. Only when he knew his shoulders were no longer up and down did he speak. Make a cold sound. There was an unspeakable anger in this icy voice. The blood fog is dead. What? Captain He. Who? The 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist trembled at the same time. The strength of the blood mist is no worse than them. Among the 7 people, only the strength of Munashi Oni and Zhongheim can stabilize the blood mist, but they are only better than them. It is very difficult to kill. Without special ninja swords, Munashi Guichi and Zhongheim would not be able to defeat the blood mist at all. The reason why the 7 people of the Mist Ninja Swords are so powerful has a great relationship with the ninja swords they use. I just got the news. The blood fog, the ghost lamp-tide river, and the Konoha missing nin Uchiha Gumu who took refuge in us all died in Zanbei village. They all died at the same time and were killed by one person. Ghost Lantern Wanyu said again. Die at the same time. Killed by one. Munashi Guichi's eyes widened a bit, and he glanced at the people around him, and immediately asked, Sir, is it White Fang? I can only think of it this way. In terms of strength, without considering Uchiha Gumu, it is said to kill both Shueimist and Ghost Lantern Chauhei at the same time. Munashi Guichi admits that he has no such strength, and since Uchiha Gumu was also killed at the same time, the person who came is likely to be a Konoha ninja. In Konoha and will enter the country of water to perform a mission. Konoha Anbu Captain Hitaki Sakumo, codenamed White Fang. Most likely it is him. Others, whether it is Konoha's Uchiha Chief or Hyuga Chief, or Hokage's assistant Danzo, will not leave Konoha easily. It's not White Fang. He heard the ghost lamp Wanyu again. His voice was much lower. It's a 12 or 13-year-old boy. Uchiha Gumu found him and identified him as Konoha's genin spy, and he was Konoha Tsunade's apprentice. Sarutobi Hiruzen's disciple and grandson, Uchiha Gumu, brought him to the Chauhei River for interrogation, and the blood mist was also present. 12 or 13 years old. He killed the blood mist. Munashi Guichi and Zhongheim screamed in surprise, and the other 5 ninjas were also shocked. 3 people were killed at the same time. The autopsy results showed that they were all poisoned. They could not respond quickly to the surprise attack. Their bodies were pierced by kuwu, and then they were decapitated and their heads were taken away. After that, thousands of ninjas in Zanbei village, the whole village was searched, and more than 10 Chunin genins were killed during the search, but the boy was not found. He escaped. Ghost Lantern Wanyu's voice suddenly stopped, and then suddenly turned around to look at the 7 people of Ninja Sword, and shouted in anger, he is Hangwang. Call. Ghost Lantern Wanyu threw a pocket scroll and went straight to Munashi Ghost 7. Munashi Jichi caught the pocket scroll and opened it. The scroll contained not only the details of the Zanbei village incident last night, but also the portrait of the little fisherman, Lu Han, who was about 1.6 meters tall, on the thin side, with shoulder width, details such as arm length, hair color, etc. are all marked. Zhang Heim looked at it, and immediately took out a small scroll from his arms and opened it. It was a portrait of Hengguang. The Ghost Army ninja had seen Hengguang before, and there was information provided by Uzumaki Jinghai. Down. It is cold light. Chapter 0183 Kurigakure Lore Order. Height, body shape, shoulder width, arm length. Calculate the thickness of different clothing, the influence of hidden weapons on the body shape. Even if it is a jonin, it is difficult for ordinary ninjas to draw a more accurate conclusion in an instant. The 7 ninja swordsmen can also do it. If the little fisherman is put on a black robe and a mask, and equipped with enough kunai and shuriken, he is almost indistinguishable from Hengguang. Although it cannot be denied that there are people with extremely similar statures in this world, at the age of 12 or 13, there are not many teenage ninjas with a similar physique to Lu Han. But all from Konoha, all are powerful, all entered the land of water. One of them killed Konoha missing Nin. Is it a coincidence that these conditions are added together to analyze? Could it be a coincidence? Could they be 2 people? It is only theoretically possible. That is impossible. They are 1 person. Konoha Anbu, cold light. He's only 12 or 13 years old. Munashi Guichi, who is holding the intelligence scroll, suddenly raised his head with a horrified expression. Uchiha Gumu knows him. He can't pretend to be 12 or 13 years old, he is really only 12 old. Quote. Munashi Ona's voice is questioning, but it's actually a kind of affirmation. He just couldn't believe it. 12 or 13-year-old ninja, killed Captain Kurigakure Anbu Blood Mist. Although it was successful only by poisoning, it was a technical assassination, but what kind of ability was he able to poison the blood mist in front of the blood mist? From another perspective, if he is really Han Guang, and he killed Kurigakure before, what kind of fighting ability is that? Genius. Be a monster. At present, Zenbei Village has notified the Beihai inspection guard that Han Guang appeared in Zenbei Village. If he walks from the Beihai, the sea is boundless, and we can easily detect him. I think he should consider this and will not directly evacuate from the Beihai. Ghost Lantern Wanyu squinted at the group of 7 ninja swordsmen. The most likely route for him to evacuate is to leave the country from the west of the Land of Water. Compared with other directions, the West Sea of the Land of Water is small in size and has less wind and waves. It's the country of Vortex. This is the best route to take from the country of water to the country of fire. The 7 ninja swordsmen listened to the order. Ghost Lantern Wanyu shouted lowly. Munashi Kiichi and the others suddenly looked solemn. Super S-level special mission. Kurigakure lore. You leave Kurigakure village immediately, there is no time limit for this mission. I give you the right to temporarily rule all ninja and scout troops in Anbu. Don't come back if you don't kill Hengguang. Hengguang kill me Hanoin, kill me Captain Anbu. I want him to die. Must die. Understand? At the end, Ghost Lantern's voice had turned into a roar. Yes. The 7 ninja swordsmen took orders in unison. A bloodthirsty light flashed in each of their eyes, like a hungry wolf beast, a task with the double label of a Super S-class special and a lore order. They have not received it for too long. In the entire Kurigakure village, the only ninja team that can accept this kind of task is the 7 ninja blades of the mist. Other than that, there is no team, it must be a legion. The 7 members of the Mist Ninja Blade are equivalent to the existence of a ninja army. Let's act, Ghost Lantern said again. The 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist bowed respectfully to Ghost Lantern, and then disappeared into the room at the same time. Ghost Lantern Wanyu slowly turned around and looked out the window again. He took a deep breath and calmed down the excitement he had just raised, and then disappeared out of thin air. He is going to see the great name of the country of water. If he wants to block the entire territory of the country of water, he must discuss with the great name, and the cooperation of the great name is indispensable. The consequences of blocking the entire territory are very serious, mainly affecting trade. It is not that trade is not allowed, but inspections will be carried out. The Waterland will block some ports, only open a few large ports, and will carry out extremely strict inspections, which is necessary. Time. To put it simply, once the entire territory of the Land of Water is blocked, the trade activities of the Land of Water will suddenly slow down. Foreign merchants in the Land of Water could have finished their transactions within a month and left. After the Land of Water blocked the entire territory, the transaction may take half a year to complete, which will directly affect the shogunate taxation in the Land of Water. It's a question of money. Therefore, Ghost Lantern and Magic Moon must discuss with the great name of the Land of Water. Mizukage is the king of Kurigakure ninjas, and Daimyo is the king of ordinary people in the Land of Water. The Daimyo controls the world, which is a force that cannot be underestimated. Although a Jonin can easily kill hundreds of ordinary people, if it is compared to surveillance and search, the more the number of people, the stronger it is. There are more than 10,000 ninjas in the village of Kurigakure. Even if all of them are sent out, it is impossible to block the whole territory, but the daimyo of the Land of Water can. In the blink of an eye, it was 5 days later. The sun was setting, it was already dusk, and the sky was full of yuhi-sha, like a blood curtain hanging down. The northern island of the Land of Water, the deep cave of Yamanaka. The fire was burning, exuding warmth that made one feel warm, and it was the end of the year, and the northern part of the archipelago country, the Land of Water, was getting colder and colder. There are 8 or 9 Anbu ninjas gathered around the fire. Some of the other Anbu ninjas are at the exit of the cave, and some are outside the realm. Anbu ninja at the exit of the cave will occasionally perform Suiten, water-style ninjutsu in order to clear the smoke that is about to float out of the cave. Waxing like this. This angle should also be applied, otherwise it will rot here. There is no problem with rot, but it will emit a smell and be easy to find. On the stone beside the fire, Sanmu was holding the head of Uchiha Gumu, teaching Luhan the skills of wax seal. The wax seal human head is naturally for preservation and prevention of decay. Well, Luhan looked at Mickey's demonstration seriously and nodded slightly. The head is the most important part of the human body, and its structure is extremely complex. Wait a minute, Luhan suddenly raised his hand and shouted, looking at Mickey, "What did you just say?" "The head is the most important part of the human body," Mickey asked back, looking at Luhan strangely. "Is there any doubt about this?" Of course Luhan knew that the head is the most important part of the human body, but he just suddenly thought that since the head is the most important part of the human body, then, can we use the deprivation technique to obtain items? Chapter 0184_drop special restrictions. At that time, Luhan decapitated the 3 and took the heads, just to bring them back to the country of fire as proof of completing the mission. In fact, this can be taken or not. The difference is that if you take the head directly back, you will be confirmed to complete the task immediately. If you don't take it, you need Konoha Anbu to verify it. It takes a certain amount of time to verify whether the task is really completed. Because Luhan didn't have enough time to use the deprivation technique on the 3 corpses in turn, so he couldn't waste any time there, so Luhan thought at the time that he didn't need the deprivation technique to get the reward. Compared to the first kill drop reward, depriving the reward is just a bonus. And now, Mickey reminded Luhan that although the head is only a small part of the human body, it is the most important part. Can the deprivation technique on the head be rewarded? "Sir, what's the matter?" Mickey asked again when Luhan didn't speak. "It's nothing." Luhan glanced at Sanmu after returning to his senses, then looked at Uchiha Gumu's head, and immediately reached out and picked up the head. Luhan didn't explain it, and he didn't need to explain it at all. Luhan seemed to be carefully observing the head, but he was actually using the deprivation technique. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation success. Get, psychopharmacology. Can be stripped. Spiritual medicine. Luhan was overjoyed, then stunned again. He thought of one more thing, one thing he hadn't noticed before, but it can be said to be very important, that is to kill the first 3 bosses. He didn't get a single psychoactive potion. Not a single one. Elf, in the previous battle, I killed a level 30 gold boss, a level 40 white silver boss, and a level 50 white silver boss. Why didn't a single spiritual potion drop? Lu Han asked inwardly, not meeting the drop rules. Very weird, there must be a reason. Subversive 3665, there is a particularity in the psychoactive medicine. Once a certain situation is triggered, the drop will be restricted. In the previous battle, the subversive triggered 2 special restrictions. The first one, poisoning. The subversive used poison to make the enemy it is difficult to quickly transform and use chakra, which limits the spiritual power of the enemy, resulting in the weakening of the enemy's spiritual power, which is inconsistent with the actual level. Triggering this special restriction will reduce the possibility of spiritual potions falling. The second special restriction, Subversive 3665, uses tricks such as fraud and poisoning to leapfrog the enemy, triggering the special restriction that psychoactive potions cannot be dropped. Why does this special restriction exist? Lu Han frowned. I hope the subversive can fight with real strength. The elf replied. Lu Han was speechless. Understood. The main reason is the poisoning, which does not require much of Lu Han's own strength. Ordinary people can also have the ability to quietly poison after training. Maybe it's because they don't want the subversive to go the wrong way. Skills such as deceitful performances and poisoning are just trails after all, and strength is the king's way. The so-called one force defeats 10 guilds. In the face of absolute strength, all conspiracy and tricks are floating clouds. Otsutsuki Kagaya was sealed by her son because of her lack of absolute strength, and she had to start conspiracy to reincarnate. If you want to subvert the world, what you need most is strength. Chakra is the foundation of ninja, and the root force of all ninja abilities, so the rules restrict subversives. If you don't use your power to kill people, you won't be given psychotropic medicine. Then, if I'm not using the poison that restricts the transformation of chakra, then? Lu Han asked again. In this case, if it is not a leapfrog kill, there will be no special restrictions. If it is a leapfrog kill, as long as the subversive uses skills that have nothing to do with combat power to weaken the enemy's strength, it will trigger a special mental potion that cannot be dropped. Limit. Understood. Remind subversives that if a hostile character whose strength is higher than subversives is captured by others, subversives only execute executions, which will also trigger the restriction that spiritual potions cannot be dropped. If it is the first kill, it will not trigger the first kill high burst rate. I understand, I have to use my strength to fight and kill the enemy myself, so there will be no restrictions, right? Yes. Lu Han was a little helpless, but he didn't think it was a bad thing. For him, it might be a kind of spur. He was already a RMB player in this game, and had such a big advantage. Work harder. Lu Han kept looking at Uchiha Agumu's head. Mickey, who was sitting on the side, glanced back and forth between his head and Lu Han. He didn't understand what Lu Han was looking at or found something, but he didn't ask. Mickey, and more than 20 other Konoha Anbu ninjas who followed Lu Han on the mission this time, already have a sense of awe for Lu Han. To be precise, they are in awe of Lord Hengwang. For ninjas, the primary factor worthy of awe is not age or experience, but ability. Lu Han observed Uchiha Agumu's head for a while, then put the wax-sealed head aside, and took out the heads of Ghost Deng Chaohei and Blood Mist from the bundle on the ground. All of them have been sealed with wax by Mickey, so it looks a little unreal, like a wax head. Lu Han first deprived the Ghost Deng Chao River. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation success. Get psychopharmacology. Ding! Deprivation failed. Also got a psychoactive potion, followed by the deprivation of the most important blood mist. The blood mist is a level 50 white silver boss. According to the rules, he should be able to drop a large number of psychotropic potions, but because of the special restrictions on triggering, cannot be dropped. Those spiritual potions that should have been dropped may naturally be deprived, and the probability of being deprived of spiritual potions is also increased. Should be able to get to, right? Lu Han thought, launching the deprivation technique. Ding! The deprivation is successful, and the secret art blood mist art is obtained. Chapter 0185S, Class Attack Secret Technique. Ding! Deprivation success. Get, psychopharmacology. Ding! Deprivation success. Get, psychopharmacology. Ding! Deprivation failed. Ding! Deprivation failed. 5 times of deprivation, 3 times of success, including 2 bottles of spiritual medicine, and one of them is a secret technique. The art of blood mist. It's the same as his code name. Could it be that he got his name from it? Lu Han pondered and put the head down, because there were people around him, so he wouldn't be able to directly take the scroll he just got from his space backpack. Come out, then even if they can't see the scroll, they will find that Lu Han's actions are very strange. Depriving 3 heads and getting 4 bottles of spiritual potion is definitely a big gain, which is worth 40 ingots. Lu Han now has 131 ingots. Since the last time he exchanged the insight map, he has never entered the subversive space again, killing Fei Nin, killing Shimura, killing Fog, Blood Fog, Ghost Lamp Taidhi, Uchiha Gumu, and later killed more than a dozen level 10 and 20 gold bosses while breaking through from Zinbei village. After many battles, Lu Han saved so many ingots, and these ingots can also be exchanged for 3 vials of psychoactive potions. The effect of the psychoactive potion is constant. The more chakra Lu Han has, the smaller the increase in each use of the psychoactive potion. With Lu Han's total amount of chakra equivalent to the level 30 white silver boss, and using 13 bottles of spiritual potion, the total amount of chakra should be able to surpass that of Uchiha Gumu, but it will not reach the level of level 40. If Lu Han wants to raise the total amount of chakra to level 50, it is estimated that at least 100 bottles of spiritual potion will have to be used, and this is only compared with ninjas with a relatively normal total amount of chakra. Compared with many ninjas, after all, the total amount of chakra of some ninjas can be compared with tailed beasts. In terms of Lu Han's current total amount of chakra, if he wants to reach the level of the tailed beast, I am afraid that it is not enough to increase it by 100 times. Lord, did you find anything? Mickey couldn't help asking. Lord Hengguang looked at all 3 heads, but said nothing. No, Lu Han glanced at Mickey and shook his head. Sir, Le Feng, are you still learning? Mickey asked, picking up Uchiha Go's head again. Learn, keep talking. Lu Han nodded. Wax seal is a very low-level corpse disposal method, but low-level benefits have low-level benefits. There are many ways to prevent corpses from decaying, such as soaking in potions, sealing with secret techniques or ninja tools, but there are drawbacks, such as potion soaking. There is a smell, and when you use ninjutsu secret techniques, you will use chakra. This is not easy to hide. There are many chakra techniques that can be sensed in this world. On the way to escape, carrying something that has chakra fluctuations is likely to be perceived. You know, even the body of a ninja is not always. There are chakras at all times, and chakras can be transformed and used at any time. If they are not transformed, there will be no. The advantage of wax seal is that there is almost no smell and no chakra fluctuations. Of course, Lu Han learns Le Feng purely to pass the time. He is a person with space for a backpack. If he is alone, he doesn't need to worry about what will cause trouble with him. In the middle of the night, Lu Han was sitting behind the innermost stone in the cave. The position was relatively hidden. The fire had been extinguished. The moonlight was only near the entrance of the cave. The innermost part was pitch black, and Lu Han melted into this darkness. First, take out 4 bottles of spirit potions and drink them one by one quickly. Followed by the secret art blood mist scroll. S-level secret technique. Lu Han's whole body was shocked, and then he was ecstatic. When he used the scroll, he obtained the corresponding information. The difficulty of practicing the blood mist technique is S-grade. Unlike the hidden technique that Lu Han obtained before, the blood mist technique is not an auxiliary technique, but a large-scale attacking secret technique. Forbidden technique. This is definitely the forbidden technique of the Master of Blood Mist, and it may even be his signature technique. Lu Han was very excited and wanted to rush out to find a place to try the effect of the blood mist technique, but he held back. It is impossible to know the specific effect of the blood mist technique only by using the scroll. It can only be inferred from the information of the hand seal guidance and the chakra operation and release method. This technique is used to attack blood fog. Blood fog. With his thoughts on the blood fog technique, Lu Han gradually fell asleep. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, another 10 days passed. Han is 13 years old. Just yesterday, 30 years of Konoha passed, and 31 years of Konoha began. Lu Han came to this world in the middle of Konoha's 30th year. It has been more than half a year since Han was an orphan. 1 year older. Northern Islands. South Coast Forest. A half-meter-long eagle bird flew over the forest, with a gleaming light in its blue eyes. This is a seabird ninja beast unique to Kurigakure village. Compared, but only for reconnaissance patrols, is completely sufficient. It was not until the eagle bird ninja beast flew away that the Konoha Anbu ninja hidden in the forest appeared from all over the place and gathered together again. It still won't work. The neighborhood is also blocked. As long as we reach the sea, it won't be long before a reconnaissance bird will pass by the sea, and we will be discovered at that time. Lu Han said in a low voice. Everyone else was silent. It had been half a month, and they had thought of everything they should have thought, but none of them worked. If it really doesn't work, let's go separately. Lu Han said again, opening the small map at the same time, and habitually glanced at it. Sir, if we separate, Mito Jing just said. There is someone from the sea, hide. Lu Han interrupted Mito Jing. Everyone catapulted away, hiding in various places in the forest, all watching the sea from a distance. Not long after, 2 figures came swiftly from the sea, all walking on the water, and the speed was outrageous. In Lu Han's eyes, they were all dazzling Yuhi names. The 7 ninja swordsmen of Mist Level 50 White Silver Boss Ringo Hiyori. The 7 ninja swordsmen of the Mist Level 50 Bronze Boss Ma and Kangren. Just the 2 of them. Chapter 0186_Horror Duo. The 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist are a ninja team, but these 7 people are not inseparable. It is necessary to determine whether to act separately or together according to the situation of the action. Previously in the country of Vortex, the 7 of them never separated because of the size of the country of Vortex. It's small, and it's the enemy's territory, so it can't act separately. This search and chasing Han Guang was in the land of water. Kurigakure village has sent a large number of scout ninjas and seabird ninjas to search, and the 7 people of the Mist Ninja Sword have been divided into 3 teams to search separately. Lu Hanyao, who was hiding in the tree, looked at the people of Ringo Ri and Ma Ankang, and his mind became alive. Kill them both. Lu Han doesn't have this kind of strength, and Konoha Anbu's 20 or so Jonins can't even add up. Disparity in strength. If it is 1, it is possible to have a contest, but the opponent is 2 people, and the strength of the ninja has reached a certain height, and it is difficult to use the number to make up the gap in strength. In the original book, there are even cases of 1 against 10,000. Although neither the Ringo nor the Ma Ankang have the strength to fight against 10,000 people, they can at least fight hundreds of them. Fighting a ninja team is not a problem. Not to mention other things. Let's say Ringo Hiwa and Ma Ankang released S-class attack ninjutsu at the same time. Think about it, apart from Lu Han, there are more than 20 Jonins in Anbu, and Mito Kyo has the possibility of defense. Don't talk about defense, even if you dodge, you may not be able to dodge. Lu Han knew that he didn't have the strength to fight level 50, and even if he could fight, it would be reluctant, but he was still full of thoughts. Because he doesn't really have no chance. He still has 131 ingots that are useless, and he still has a diamond badge and a rare tactical blade that he has not redeemed. In fact, he had a chance to enter the subversive space a few days ago, and he can be with more than 20 Konoha Anbu ninjas. He is inconvenient. Tomorrow. Just tomorrow, Lu Han will have the opportunity to enter the disruptor space again. He hasn't figured out what he wants to exchange, but he knows that as long as he can complete this exchange, his strength will definitely improve again. Coupled with the special characteristics of the two Kekkei Genkei and the body, it may not be impossible to defeat the ultra-elite ninja with a rating of 50. Ringo Hiwa is a middle-aged man of about 40 years old, tall and thin, and his face is always expressionless when he is on the road, but his breath is very peaceful. Ma and King people are young people in their 20s, at most 27 or 18 years old. To achieve such strength at such an age is truly a genius. This guy's breath is extremely cold, his long black hair is slanted, and one eye is blocked by black hair. The two rushed to the beach, stopped for a while, and exchanged something in a low voice with each other, and then turned into a glimpse again and rushed into the forest. Konoha Anbu ninjas hidden everywhere. After all, the worst is Jonin, who is also from the Konoha Ace Army. In terms of hiding ability, it is also not a general Jonin comparable. Ringo Hiwa and Mayankura quickly left. Lu Han had already turned around, hiding Zongyao looking at the backs of the two of them, until he could not see it with the naked eye, then he withdrew his gaze, and his eyes became colder. Lu Han wanted to kill these two. Not only because you can get the first kill reward of level 50 bronze boss, but also because of Konoha Anbu's exploits. Lu Han wants to be promoted to Captain Anbu in Konoha Anbu. If you count on Sarutobi Hiruzen's fancy and direct promotion, the hope is very slim. Hitaki Tsukumo is still very young. If not for special reasons, it is almost impossible for Sarutobi Hiruzen to remove his Anbu captain position. So Lu Han needs enough merits to challenge for the position of Captain Anbu. There is one thing that is very troublesome. If he can really kill these two people, Lu Han is a little hard to explain how he killed them. He has only awakened for more than half a year. Absolute trust. It's not a good thing to progress too fast. In case Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that Lu Han's body is abnormal and wants to check it, then he is likely to find that Lu Han has Sharingan and Shikatsumiku, dead bone pulse, which is completely unexplainable. But then again, it's too early to think about these things. If there is a chance, these two people must be killed. I really can't think of an explanation, so I just don't report it to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Call. Lu Han glanced at the small map and confirmed that the two men with terrifying strength had left the maximum insight of the small map. Then Hand Seal appeared in the open space in an instant, and other ninjas hiding around saw Lu Han's appearance, and they all appeared body. It's two of the 7 ninja swordsmen. Huo Yan said in shock. It's very dangerous. Mito Jing also said, if we were just discovered by them, it would be difficult for us to be their opponents, thanks to Lord Hangguang. Lord Hangguang, how did you find out? It was still far away. Kato asked. Voice, there was wind noise when they were running. Lu Han explained casually and immediately changed the subject. In this way, I have decided that we will go separately. But your lord, Mito Keikyu said. This is an order. Lu Han interrupted Mito Kyo's words, turned around and swept away the crowd. You all disguise yourself. As long as you disguise properly, it's not a problem to evacuate directly from the port. I'm the only one exposed. You all follow me. It will only be more dangerous. You don't have to worry about my safety. I can escape from Zenbei village alone. The country of water is so big. Even if I can't return to the country of fire in the short term, they will not be found by them. There was silence, and they all looked at Lu Han. Lu Han gave them the feeling that he separated from them for their safety. Do you understand? Lu Han suddenly shouted. Understood. There was a roar of promise. Go away. Call. Lu Han Hand Seal disappeared in place. ... One day later, night. On the northern island of the Land of Water, in the dense forest with many vegetation, in the dark cave, Lu Han leaned against the wall and slowly closed his eyes. At 00:00 in the morning, Lu Han's body was illusory and solid. Disruptor space. In a world full of metallic texture, a large number of crude weapons were piled on the ground, and the light ball in the center of the space suddenly cracked, and Lu Han walked out quickly from it. Chapter-187-Super Item Recycling. What can the diamond badge be exchanged for? Luhan turned to look at the ball of light, the messenger of subversion asked. Wow! The white ball of light emitted UV light and formed a curtain in front of Luhan. It was in the same form as when the ingot was exchanged. Luhan now has a total of 15 diamond badges, which can only be exchanged for 6. 100-fold upgrade of space. The area of the space backpack is expanded by 100 times, with the property of automatically recovering dropped objects in 0.1 seconds, and requires 5 diamond badges. Potion combination set. Small blue bottle times 100, small UV bottle times 100, large blue bottle times 10, large UV bottle times 10, requires 5 diamond badges. Super item recycling. Items with a price equal to or higher than 10 ingots in the subversive space can be recycled, and some ingots can be returned, requiring 10 diamond badges. The Face of Immortality. It can freeze the appearance and posture of the subversive in a youthful state, requiring 10 diamond badges. Beginning Limit Breakthrough. C-level or lower level spells can unlock the LV9 level limit, so that the upper limit reaches LV12, the target spell must reach LV9 level, and requires 12 diamond badges. Initial Resurrection Scroll. When the subverter's blood volume returns to 0, he will be in a state of residual blood after resurrection, and will lose all abilities and return to the initial state, requiring 15 diamond badges. This. Luhan looked stunned and blinked at the Initial Resurrection Scroll. After a while, he asked, "There are more advanced resurrection scrolls?" "It has not been unlocked yet," said the subversive messenger. A moment of silence. Luhan kept looking at the Initial Resurrection Scroll. He wanted to change it. Really want. It was a second life, a chance to start over after his failure. But he restrained his impulse, because the Initial Resurrection Scroll is not suitable for him at this moment. What he has to do now is to challenge a powerful enemy. Once he dies at the hands of a powerful enemy, even if he is resurrected, he will be killed again. Moreover, there was another thing that made Luhan extremely excited. Luhan looked away and looked at another exchange. Super Item Recovery. Requires 10 diamond badges. This is almost a must for third-rate web games. After obtaining high-level items, you can recycle them if you don't need them. With Luhan's current strength, it is easy to kill enemies who drop A-level ninjutsu scrolls. Ordinary grade A ninjutsu scrolls are also worth 10 ingots. What is the return rate for super item recycling? Luhan asked. According to the different nature and utility value of the items, the return ratio is not fixed. The maximum return is 70%, and the minimum return is 50%. The subversive messenger said. Enough. Luhan immediately said, "Exchange this, super item recycling." Exchange completed. 5 diamond badges left. Boost your space pack. Exchange completed. All 15 diamond badges are used up. Needless to say, the recycling of super items, the minimum 50% ingot return rate can be said to be very high. Luhan mainly considers weapons. Rare weapons are worth at least 60 ingots. If they are recycled, they can return at least 30 ingots. For Luhan at the moment, Yuanbao is the most important thing. As for the space backpack, Luhan thought of the Second Ninja War that would break out a year later. It was a brutal war. If you kill low-level ninjas, it is estimated that if you kill dozens of people casually, the automatically recovered drops will be destroyed, filling up Luhan's space backpack. So Luhan chose to increase the space by 100 times, and the 0.1 second automatic recovery also gave him a lot of convenience. Wow! Luhan took out the rare Kurigakur blade pin to his lower back, and frowned again and asked, how to use the recycling ability. Meditate. Recycling. The subversive messenger said, a recycling device will appear. Recycle. Luhan said silently. Call. Uzumaki appeared out of thin air in front of Luhan. The edge of the Uzumaki was white. The closer it was to the center, the darker the color, and the center was dark. Bring the item you want to recycle close to Uzumaki. The subversive messenger said again. Luhan immediately raised the sickle before recovering Uzumaki, and a line of text appeared on the sickle. The rare Kurigakure blade, the original price is 140 ingots, and the recovery will return 70 ingots. This knife is worth 140. Luhan was surprised. He didn't expect this knife to be so high level, because the lowest level rare weapon was only worth 60 ingots. However, if you think about it from another angle, it is also reasonable, because this knife is the first kill to explode. Luhan thought for a while, then withdrew his arm and hung the sickle on his lower back. I have collected all the shards of the rare tactical blade, can I exchange it? Luhan asked. He had to see how much the rare tactical blade was worth. If it was better than the rare Kurigakure blade, he might consider buying the rare tactical blade. The blade of Kurigakure is recovered. Exchangeable. Call. Following the voice of the subversive messenger, a curtain appeared in front of Luhan's eyes again, but this time it was a long strip, divided into 4 squares, each of which contained a knife-like weapon. 4. Luhan asked. Rare tactical blade. Tactic is a general term, not a weapon. Rare weapons are based on penultimate weapons, with special effects added, and those with 2 effects and growth attributes will have tactical designation, the best quality weapon among rare weapons. Quote. 2 effects. The best quality. Luhan's eyes lit up. How much ingots will it be worth? There are 17 types of rare tactical weapons, including 4 types of knives, with a uniform price of 600 ingots. Fuck. 600. Don't swear. Luhan's eyes widened and he was very excited. He looked at the 4 rare tactical weapons of knives in turn, each with detailed text annotations. Wait, you just said. What is the growth attribute? Luhan suddenly looked up at the ball of light again. Rare level is not the highest level of weapons. On top of that, there is another level called unparalleled level. Unparalleled level weapons cannot be dropped from the outside world. They can only be exchanged for ingots in the subversive space. The minimum price is 3,000 ingots. The messenger of subversion explained. What do you mean? Luhan's eyes widened again, he seemed to understand. Chapter-181-200. Yes. The subversive messenger sensed Luhan's thoughts and said directly, rare tactical weapons can be cultivated into unparalleled weapons. It takes a long time to accumulate and the cultivation method is uncertain. Different rare tactical weapons have different cultivation methods. Disruptors need to figure it out on their own. Quote. Unparalleled weapon. How strong is it? Luhan immediately asked. Can't answer. Okay. Luhan immediately retracted his gaze and looked at the 4 squares again. He was very helpless. Many questions, whether it was the subversive messenger or the elves, would not be answered. Rare thunder blade, rare astonishing blade, rare sky burial blade, rare frost blade. The 4 rare tactical weapons differ greatly in shape. The thunder blade is a tipless machete with a domineering shape, the Jinghong blade is a lancet with a slender blade, and the sky burial blade is more unique with serrated blades. And the frost blade is actually a sword shape, but only has 1 edge. Luhan carefully read the detailed explanation of the 4 knives, hesitated, and did not make a decision for a while. Remind Subversive 3665, you can stay for 15 minutes. The prompt sounded. Just change. Luhan was in a hurry. He still had to see the ingot exchange. He didn't use the 131 ingots yet, and the time was too late. Blade of Jinghong. Change this. The exchange is complete, the subversive messenger said immediately. Luhan flicked his wrist, and the rare sword of shock appeared in his hand. The length of the knife was 127 cm, the length of the handle was 37 cm, the length of the blade was 90 cm, the width of the blade was 4 cm, and the front of the blade was slightly curved. In terms of shape, this knife is quite satisfactory. It is also the reason why Luhan chose it. It is not so eye-catching. The shape is not dazzling, but its special effect can blind people's eyes. Special Effect 1. Injecting Chakra Activation. The blade emits strong blue light, which interferes with the enemy's vision judgment. The extreme effect can cause the enemy to lose sight. This effect is really weak, but it can't be said to be useless. In some specific cases, it is still useful. For example, in the face of the enemy of Master Tongjutsu, it can produce miraculous effects. They are strong because of Sharingan and Byakugan. Special Effect 2. Store the Thunder Attribute Chakra in the Blade of Jinghong. When a blue incantation appears on the blade, it means that the chakra is enough to activate Jinghong Peerless. Jinghong Peerless. A powerful and terrifying attack, using the shining thunderlight and huge thunderballs to attack all around. The power is enough to destroy the mountain. This is the reason why Lu Han chose the Sword of Astonishment, because this knife has a terrifying attack ability. Lu Han likes this direct and domineering ability, which can prompt a mountain, although it is not said how big mountains, but even the smallest mountain must be destroyed by an S-rank single attack ninjutsu, right? Trick. The ability to turn defeat into victory at critical moments. It is necessary to store chakra in the knife first. In terms of Lu Han's current chakra volume, he has to repeatedly store chakra in the knife. There must be a lot. Lu Han looked at the sword of Jinghong, and immediately put it away, raised his head and said, "Exchange ingots." Whoa! White light illuminated, and an extremely huge curtain appeared in front of Lu Han. There were more than 2,000 grids and more than 2,000 exchangeable items on the curtain. Lu Han now has 131 ingots, and he has unlocked a maximum of 130 ingots worth of ingots. There are very few ingots worth 130 ingots. There are only 6 kinds of ingots, 4 of which are weapons. How many? No more than 100 species. Some of the S-level spells have been unlocked, and they are basically attack-type spells. The 8 inner gates also has 5 direct gates, and the price is 110 ingots. The lowest price of S-level art is 100 ingots. Lu Han did not see what he wanted. Such as Horaishan, or Impure World Reincarnation. The Art of Concealment. No, the Art of Blood Mist. 125 ingots. Lu Han glanced and looked down again. Many techniques made Lu Han's heart move, but he didn't have many ingots and chakras, so he still had to lower his eyes and see from the top to the bottom. Because there was not enough time, he read very fast, mainly because of his knowledge. The Art of the Master or the Art of the Master. Ghost Flame Technique. Cultivation Difficulty Level B. The price is 4 ingots. Lu Han has a deep memory of this technique. Shimura used this technique to almost kill Lu Han. In terms of power, this technique is by no means inferior to False Darkness. The reason why False Darkness is so expensive is that it has room for development. Lu Han looked up and down, still hesitant. First of all, he must buy spiritual potions. He is not sure how many bottles he will buy. Only the remaining ingots can buy various spells. Lu Han wants to buy Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation. The Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation issued by Uchiha Madara in the original book. Dozens of water formation walls unite together to block it, and you must know that water formation wall is AB level ninjutsu, which can only be used by Jonin. Dozens of Jonins jointly launch B-level defensive ninjutsu to block Uchiha Madara, SA level ninjutsu. Ninjutsu attack. Moreover, sweetened water style restrains Kaiden fire style, that is to say, if there are dozens of B-level Doden earth style ninjutsu, it is likely to be unable to stop Uchiha Madara's Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation. Of course, the Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation used by Uchiha Madara must have reached the LV6 level, and the LV1 level Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation definitely does not have that kind of power, and it is estimated that it will be weaker than the LV9 Ultimate Fire Dragon Flame Bullet. Damn, if it wasn't because I didn't have enough chakra. Lu Han was a little irritable after thinking about it. In fact, the exchange of Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation does not help Lu Han in any way. His LV9 Ultimate Fire Dragon Flame Bullet is enough, and it consumes less chakra than using A-level ninjutsu. However, LV9 Ultimate Fire Dragon Flame Bullet there is no improvement potential, and the LV1 Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation potential is amazing. Subversive 3665, you still have 3 minutes. The subversive messenger reminded Lu Han again. 6 bottles of spirit medicine, 60 ingots. 8 ghost fire scrolls, 32 ingots. 39 ingots left. Lu Han spoke quickly, and suddenly returned his hand and took out the rare Kurigakure blade. Sell or not? Chapter 0189 Lu Han's strength. It's hard to choose again. If the blade of Kurigakure is recovered, Lu Han has a better blade of Jinghong to use, but there is a problem. That is, Lu Han is on his way to escape from the country of water and return to the country of fire. The country of water is full of water environments. Compared with the blade of Jinghong, in the country of water, the blade of Kurigakure is more suitable for Lu Han. 2 rare blades, the difference is nothing more than the growth, and the blade of Jinghong has one more special effect than the blade of Kurigakure. And the effect of Kurigakare's blade that can create dense fog is not necessarily worse than Jinghong Peerless, but the categories are different, one is auxiliary, and the other is attack. Lu Han stopped, motionless. What to replace the remaining ingots for? Do you want to salvage the Kurigakure blade? Lu Han was thinking about these questions over and over again. Or, recover the astonishing blade. If he recycles the Sword of Thunder, Lu Han can get at least 300 ingots at a time, but this is equivalent to losing his mind. The value of the Blade of Thunder is no longer comparable to a few hundred ingots for Lu Han at this stage. Even if he gave Lu Han 1,000 ingots, Lu Han would be able to buy 100 bottles of spiritual potions and raise the chakra to level 50. As for those powerful spells, they all need a huge amount of chakra to support them before they can be used. Lu Han changed it. Didn't work either. And the stunt of Jinghong Blade, Jinghong Peerless, can completely eliminate the level 50 boss in seconds. Lu Han didn't want to give up the basics and chase the bottom. Subversive 3665, you still have 1 minute. The subversive messenger reminded again. 39 ingots, 39. This. Exchange this. B-level secret art, water and iron cannon art. Lu Han finally confirmed at the last moment, 4 ingots, exchange for 9. The technique of water and iron cannons, B-level secret techniques. Master Lu Han has dozens of B-level techniques, but there is no water and iron cannon technique, because this is the secret technique of the Ghost Lamp clan, and even within the Ghost Lamp clan, the master is also very few. It uses the hand to make a gun and emits water bullets. It has a medium range and an extremely fast rate of fire. Relatively speaking, the consumption of chakra is small. This technique is not very destructive in terms of destructiveness, because it can only punch a hole, but it is not harmful to the human body. In terms of lethality, it can be called terrifying, hitting a vital part of the human body and killing it instantly. During the Fourth Ninja World War in the original book, Ghost Lantern from Impure World Reincarnation made good use of this technique, and he could at most perform LV6 water and iron cannons, but Lu Han could use LV9 Ultimate the art of water and iron cannons. Redemption is complete. This exchange was very different from the exchange result that Lu Han had envisioned before. He did not raise the upper limit of strength to a new height because of this exchange, but made up for some of his shortcomings. Ultra long range attack. Group attack has Futon, Wind style, crush damage. Single unit has Raiden, Thunder style, false darkness. In the long range attack, the group attack has LV9 Ultimate Fire Dragon Flame, Cadent Fire style, Meteor Fire Shower, and the single unit has the LV9 Ultimate Ghost Flame technique. Medium and short range attacks. Group attacks include Sweden, Water style, Rain Array, Sweden, Water style, Great Waterfall technique, and there are many single-person attacks. Medium and short-range attack distances can be achieved by general attack ninjutsu. Lu Han is currently Master's strongest, is undoubtedly the technique of LV9 Ultimate. For melee attack, any group attack technique can be used in melee combat. The attack is originally from near to far, but for single, Lu Han has Rasengan, this one is enough. There are also other abilities. There are many defensive ninjutsus to defend against Master Lu Han, most of which are C level, B level, and A level is also a master, that is, Sweden, Water Style, Water Armor Formation. In terms of auxiliary abilities, Luhan has the A-level Raiden, Thunder Style, Shadow Clone Technique, the B-level Secret Technique, the Shadow Flash Technique, the S-level Secret Technique, the Hidden Technique, and a type of Luhan who has never used it against the enemy. The Secret Technique whose power cannot be determined, the S-rank Secret Technique, the Technique of Blood Mist. Plus 2 kinds of Kekkei Genkai, 3 Tomo Sharingan and Shikatsumiku, Dead Bone Pulse. Sharingan can use Demonic Illusion, Anti-Demonic Illusion, and even Anti-Demonic Illusion, while Shikatsumiku, Dead Bone Pulse, can use melee, group attack, long-range attack. From the current point of view, Luhan's strength is invincible within a certain class, because he has no weaknesses. But this is only relative. Luhan is even confident to win the level 40 gold boss, which is the strongest elite Jonin, but if the opponent is level 50, everything is hard to say, from combat experience, combat response awareness, hand seal speed, chakra the amount of power, and the upper limit of attack power. There is a gap between Luhan and the hostile characters of the 50-level strength class. Of course, Luhan also has advantages. He can drink medicine, he has a special body, and his abilities are more comprehensive. It's really hard to tell the outcome of the fight between Gen and the members of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. After another 8 days, the village of Konoha, the Land of Fire. The quaint room, the third-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen sat cross-legged on the wooden slump. Danzo stood aside. A Konoha Anbu ninja wearing a black robe and a mask knelt down on one knee before the wooden slump, reporting to Sarutobi Hiruzen. The latest investigation results show that the Kingdom of Water has recently blocked the entire territory, which is related to the Zanbei village incident that occurred more than 20 days ago. It has been confirmed that the Kurigakure ninja leader of Zanbei village, Gaidong Chouhei, and Uchiha Gumu were assassinated. And it is rumored that a third person also died in the assassination, who is suspected to be a high-level Kurigakure, and the identity details of this high-level Kurigakure have not yet been found out. The masked ninja reported all the latest information about the Country of Water. The abnormality of the Country of Water has attracted the attention of all countries in the ninja world, but because the Country of Water has been blocked, it is difficult for the ninja villages including Konoha to quickly find out effective information. Konoha knows more, because Konoha did it. Even if he can't find out the detailed information, he can speculate based on some clues. Sarutobi Hiruzen listened to the report, frowning into a pimple. It is almost confirmed that the blockade and search operation in the Country of Water is aimed at the Konoha Anbu ninja, but it is not known which high-level figure Kurigakure died. It is worth their battle. Who will die? Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly turned to look at Danzo. With the strength of the more than 20 ninjas we sent, we can kill the elite Jonin at most. Danzo analyzed, the elite Jonin's strength is difficult to reach the top, so it should be Kurigakure's think tank consultant. Quote. Chapter-180 Danzo's speculation. Kurigakure village has a total of 3 think tank advisors. They are the chief elder of the Ghost Lamp clan, Ghost Lantern, Teodi wa Wuyu, who came from the Teodi clan, and Ariue, who came from the Biwa clan. Danzo spoke slowly, analyzing, these 3 think tank consultants are all over 50 years old, and they are highly respected in Kurigakure village. Among them, Ariue, the most powerful, is only as strong as Jonin. Think tank consultants are resourceful ninjas with strong strategy, analysis, and tactical skills. Such ninjas are available in the 5 ninja villages, and the resourceful ninjas who can reach the top are all young people who have made brilliant achievements. It's hard to say which of them will go to Zanbei village. Danzo finally shook his head. There were too few clues, and it was extremely difficult to directly analyze the correct conclusion. Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a thoughtful expression, and his brows were deeply wrinkled. Now that the entire Country of Water has been blocked, it is extremely difficult to get in and out. It is not impossible to find out the exact information, but it will take a long time, and it will be meaningless. Information is time-sensitive. Beyond that time-sensitive, it is useless to know. After some time, even the village of Kurigakure may voluntarily announce which high-ranking person is dead. Dong dong. There was a sudden knock on the door, followed by a clear female voice outside the door. Teacher. Is Tsunade. Come in. Sarutobi Hiruzen responded casually. The young and beautiful Tsunade pushed through the door, and she was the only one. Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru finished the mission of the Kingdom of Vortex 5 days ago. On the day they returned to Konoha, Tsunade heard the news that the Kingdom of Water was blocking the whole territory, and it was not long before Konoha got the news. Still don't know why. After entering the door, Tsunade glanced at Danzo, who was standing by the side. He didn't say anything. Is there any other news? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, looking at the Anbu ninja who was kneeling in front of him. No, Lord Hokage, replied the Anbu ninja. Well, continue to inquire about the news of the country of water, and report to me in time with the latest situation, go. Yes, my lord. Anbu ninja hand seal disappeared in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo then looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, paused, and said, why didn't I send someone to Kurigakure village in the Land of Water to find out the inside story of the blockade of the Land of Water as soon as possible? Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent for a while before saying, I'll think about it. Of course. Sending root ninjas to the Land of Water will be more efficient in performing tasks and more likely to get accurate information, because root ninjas are all dead men. They are a group of emotionless killing machines, not to say that they are better than Hokage. The ninjas directly under Anbu are strong, but they don't die. Not afraid of death, so it is more efficient. But Sarutobi Hiruzen is still hesitant. At present, there are more and more conflicts between countries in the ninja world, and the atmosphere of war is getting stronger and stronger. He does not want to be the one who provoked the war. Konoha Anbu ninja entered the Land of Water to hunt down missing nin, but killed Jonin, the elite of Kurigakure village, and Kurigakure high-level executives. This is Konoha's fault. If the root ninjas are sent into the village of Kurigakure, it is a mission of death and death. If wars are provoked again, Sarutobi Hiruzen does not want to do this. He is a person who takes the overall situation into consideration, and he believes in the strength of his Anbu ninjas. The 20 or so Jonins, only one was a special Jonin. If they were separated, most of them would have escaped from the Land of Water. After all, the country of water is huge, and even if the number of Kurigakure ninjas is doubled, it is impossible for them to completely block the country of water. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to minimize the loss, and if it only killed a few Anbu ninjas, the loss was not too big. Teacher. Tsunade finally couldn't help speaking, hesitantly, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen. His mouth moved, but no sound came out. They have completed the mission of chasing missing nin, and Uchiha Gumu is dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew what her female apprentice wanted to ask, and she would come to ask every day these days, asking about Chan. This time the blockade of the Land of Water was aimed at them, and they mistakenly killed a high-ranking Kurigakure. Quote. Then, Tsunade's expression changed. Teacher, let me. You don't have to worry. Sarutobi Hiruzen interrupted Tsunade. Anyone can be found, but he can't. He will escape the water country alive. You should have such confidence in him. Sarutobi Hiruzen has strong confidence in Luhan. Luhan's young age is an advantage in itself, coupled with his camouflage ability and anti-tracking ability. If he can't escape, others will definitely not be able to escape. Konoha don't even think about saving people, that level of blockade search. Unless Konoha goes to war, don't even think about taking anyone out of the water country. Tsunade lowered his head slightly, and didn't say whether he agreed with Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, and didn't speak. Go, there are a lot of missions recently. Tsukumo has already gone to the Land of Rain. If there is another mission, only the 3 of you can do it. Don't leave Konoha at will. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Yes, teacher. Tsunade nodded, turning to walk out. Call. At this moment, a whirlwind suddenly rolled up in the middle of the room lobby, and a figure appeared out of thin air, knelt down on one knee and quickly said, Lord Hokage, Hoyan come to return to life. This ninja was not wearing a ninja suit, dressed like a businessman, but wore Anbu's mask on his face. Anbu ninja who seems to be disguised to perform a mission and has just returned before he has time to change his disguise. Tsunade glanced at Fire Rock, stopped for a while, and continued to walk out. She didn't know the true identity of this ninja, nor what mission he went to perform. You just escaped from the land of water? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked directly with a slightly changed expression. Yes, Lord Hokage, the mission of chasing missing nin has been completed, and we are evacuating from the land of water separately. Hoyan said quickly. Tsunade, who had just passed by Hoyan, suddenly stopped and turned to look at Hoyan. What did you guys do in the land of water? Why did the land of water block the whole territory, and who did you kill? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, his voice much lower. Huo Yan took off the burden from his back, untied it and said, Lord, please take a look. Chapter 0191_shockingly unreal. After the burden was opened, a human head that had been sealed with wax was revealed. On the day when the Konoha Anbu ninjas of the Water Kingdom were scattered, the 3 heads were also divided into 3 hands. The 3 heads were too large and easy to be found. If they were taken separately, it would be safer. Mito Kyo brought the most important head of Uchiha Gomu. Although Uchiha Gomu is the weakest, it is Konoha missing nin and is the key token for completing the mission. The head of Ghost Lantern Chouhei was carried by Mickey. The Fire Rock Belt is naturally the head of the Blood Fog. Over 50 years old, with an old face and no obvious features, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the head displayed by Hoyan. His brows quickly wrinkled again, he didn't know it. Isn't this the top Kurigakure? Kurigakure high level, Sarutobi Hiruzen are known. Many conflicts there are in the dark, and there are also some exchanges between them. Clearly. Danzo was shocked, his eyes widened. You know, Sarutobi Hiruzen turned to look at Danzo. Captain Kurigakure Anbu, his real name is Tongshin Dafu, and Kurigakurenbu's code name is Blood Mist. Danzo reported his identity very accurately. Captain Kurigakure Anbu, Blood Fog, it's him. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately looked at the head again. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Captain Kurigakure Anbu was codenamed Blood Mist, but he didn't know what the Blood Mist looked like. He was Hokage, and he mastered the highest power of Konoha, and all aspects of things needed to be reported to him. From the last ninja war to the present, Sarutobi Hiruzen has been serving as Hokage for more than 10 years, and it is impossible for him to remember everything, and it is impossible to take care of everything. Perhaps many years ago, Anbu reported the situation of Blood Fog to Hokage, but Sarutobi Hiruzen may have just listened to it, and didn't even bother to memorize it. He didn't even look at the portrait, because it was unnecessary, even if he wanted to. It doesn't matter if Sarutobi Hiruzen knows what the Blood Fog looks like, what mission Blood Mist performs. And Danzo is different. As the leader of the route, Danzo will personally see any important information obtained by the route. He is not as busy as Hokage, and he does not need to take charge of the overall situation of Konoha, and has enough energy to plan his own affairs. Captain Kurigakure Anbu, Tsunade, who was standing by the side and hadn't left, changed his face, and actually killed Captain Kurigakure Anbu. It would be a good thing to kill him. But Tsunade is more concerned about, how much did it cost to kill Captain Kurigakure Anbu? Knowing that this time he entered the country of water to hunt down missing nin, but Konoha Anbu did not even send a team leader with sufficient strength. Shimura Hozo, the weakest team leader in the previous team, died at the hands of the 7 ninja blades of mist. No more ninjas were added after that. Tsunade knew about it. She knew it from Sarutobi Hiruzen on the first day she returned to Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen squinted slightly at the head. He deeply understood how much the death of Captain Kurigakure Anbu would cause to Kurigakure. The position of Captain Anbu is really important. It is no longer a question of how powerful Blood Mist is. In that position, it means that his ability is not limited to his strength. How many people died? Sarutobi Hiruzen finally asked, which was also Tsunade's greatest worry. Go back to Lord Hokage. No one died. Huo Yan said respectfully. Not dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice suddenly became much higher. Is he injured? Danzo asked. No, the subordinates don't know the specific situation. Huo Yan continued. Uchiha Gumu, Gaidong Chaohei, and the leader of Kurigakure Anbu were all killed at the same time in Zenbei village, and the subordinates were not in Gen at that time. In Bei village, Lord Hengguang didn't tell us in detail, he just said that it was poisoned first and then killed. More specifically, he could explain to Lord Hokage only when Lord Hengguang returned. Did he bring people to do it in Zenbei village? Danzo's eyes flashed. How many people did he bring to do it? Did anyone get hurt? Only Lord Hengguang. Huo Yan looked up at Danzo. Quiet. Silence. Danzo was stunned for a while, then stared at Hoyan with wide eyes, and immediately said in a deep voice, say it again. Lord Hengguang was alone in Zenbei village at that time. Huo Yan spoke more quickly. Lord Hengguang disappeared in Zenbei village at dusk that night, and there was chaos in Zenbei village that night, and Lord Hengguang came to the next morning. They escaped from Zenbei village, joined us in the forest, and brought back 3 human heads, namely Uchiha Gumu, Gaidong Chaohei, and this Captain Kurigakure Anbu. These 3 people were killed by Lord Hengguang alone. It was quiet again. Silence. Damn it. This kid. How did he do it? How could he do it? Danzo roared in his heart. He always wanted to kill Lu Han, and naturally he didn't want Lu Han to get better. Cold. Tsunade was already in a dazed state. Only with special Jonin strength. Kill Captain Kurigakure Anbu. Shockingly unreal. Good. Ha 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 ha. Good. I'm not wrong. Nice job. Hearty laughter suddenly sounded. It was Sarutobi Hiruzen. He clenched his fists, and his face rose with excitement. As a strong man in the entire ninja world, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is in the prime of life, has not been so excited for a long time. Danzo tilted his head slightly and glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen, and a gloomy color flashed in the depths of his eyes. In fact, Huo Yan didn't say it too clearly, he couldn't explain it at all, and Lu Han didn't explain it to him in detail, but the key information Huo Yan had made clear: poisoning. This is an ability that has nothing to do with combat power. Are you the only one who came back? Where are the others? Hengguang. Sarutobi Hiruzen hadn't said anything yet, and Danzo couldn't help but ask. We are evacuating separately, we are all acting alone, and the subordinates don't know the specific situation of others, but... Huo Yan's voice paused, and then raised his head sharply. Lord Hokage. Lord Hengguang is being endured by the fog. The 7 swordsmen are chasing them down. Chapter-181-200 I'll send someone. What did you say? Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up suddenly, his face changed drastically. Why? Tsunade, who was standing beside Hoyan, couldn't help but exclaimed, how could the 7 ninja swordsmen know about him? Tsunade's eyes were round and round. Hoyan said clearly, he didn't say that the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist were chasing the Konoha Anbu ninja, but that they were chasing Lu Han. This is an accurate statement. Master Hokage. Huo Yan's voice also fluctuated, and his emotions were also a little excited. Master Hengguang ordered us to evacuate for our safety. Master Hengguang has been exposed. When he was on a mission in Zenbei village, did not hide his body and appearance. Kurigakure has mastered detailed information on his appearance. Even so, Mizukage wouldn't directly send the 7 ninja blades of mist to hunt him down. Sarutobi Hiruzen said quickly, his eyes fixed on Hoyan. Can you say so accurately? Is there anything else going on? Yes, Lord Hokage. Huo Yan spoke very quickly. According to Lord Hengguang, he heard the conversation between Blood Mist and them before assassinating Uchiha Gumu and others. According to Lord Hengguang, it was someone betrayed his intelligence. Who? Uzumaki shocked the sea. This is impossible, Sarutobi Hiruzen said flatly. Jinghai and I are close friends, and Uzushiogakure village is my most loyal ally of Konoha village. Lord Hokage, everything is what Lord Hengguang said. and the subordinates also reiterated it. Huo Yan immediately said, he naturally couldn't argue with Sarutobi Hiruzen about this kind of thing. Go on. What did Han Guang say? What did he hear? Sarutobi Hiruzen said. According to what Lord Hengguang said, as early as half a month before the Zanbei village incident, the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist had already traced his whereabouts in the country of Vortex, but at that time, the group of 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist did not know Mr. Akatsuki Hengguang. They are after the ninja who destroyed the Kurigakure Flying Ninja Squad and want revenge for Flying Ninja. Quote. It was Uzumaki Jinghai, his only son was kidnapped by the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and Uzumaki Jinghai was threatened, so he disclosed the information of Lord Hengguang. The specific amount disclosed cannot be verified, but it is certain that the ninja of the mist at that time the 7 swordsmen already know the code name of Hengguang, and they also know that Hengguang is going to the country of water to perform a mission. That is to say, before the Zanbei village incident, the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist had returned to the land of water and were looking for cold light. After that, Lord Hengguang cleared Uchiha Gumu in Zanbei village, and also killed Gaidong Chaohei and Captain Kurigakure Anbu Blood Mist. Those things were said by Shui Mist, so Lord Hengguang speculated that his identity has been exposed. Being able to kill Flying Ninja and killing the leader of Kurigakure Anbu in Zanbei village, the height and body shape and other information have been exposed. Kurigakure village should analyze the results and confirm that the young ninja who killed in Zanbei village is the Konoha Anbu ninja, Hengguang. Originally, this was just the conjecture of Lord Hengguang, but 10 days ago, on the day we scattered and evacuated, we met a member of the 7 ninja swordsmen of Mist near the southern coast of the northern island of the Land of Water, one of them. 2. Fortunately, Lord Hengguang was alert and discovered in advance that we hid and did not have contact with them. Quote. After that, Lord Hengguang officially ordered us to evacuate, and we don't need to protect him. Huo Yan said a lot in one breath, because this is a very complicated matter. Sarutobi Hiruzen has been listening attentively all the time, and his face has become more and more ugly. Uzumaki shocked the sea. What did he do? What has he done? As Konoha's most loyal ally, how could he do such a thing? Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't understand, his face gradually became gloomy and terrifying, the flesh at the corner of his mouth was twitching, and the whole person showed a cold meaning from the inside out. He and Uzumaki Jinghai are 2 kinds of people. If this matter falls on Sarutobi Hiruzen would rather his son die than betray his allies. He is the kind who can be cold-blooded and ruthless for the sake of the overall situation and the safety of more people. Betrayal is the most chilling. Lord Hokage, this subordinate asks for your order, and is willing to return to the Land of Water to find Lord Hengguang. Huo Yan suddenly said, his eyes filled with solemnity are extremely firm. This subordinate understands that this trip is a life and death situation, but as long as you can find Lord Hengguang, this subordinate will die without regrets. Please Lord Hokage. Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the fire rock, his eyes were bloodshot because of his emotions. No, you don't need to go to the Land of Water. Sarutobi Hiruzen rejected Hoyan's request, and then said again, go to the Land of Vortex. Go and find out for me. Has Uzumaki's shocking son ever disappeared, or still alive? I need the most accurate information, understand? This subordinate understands. Huo Yan could only take orders. Go right away. Yes. Fire Rock finally responded, and Hand Seal disappeared from the room. Teacher, I'm going to the Land of Water. Tsunade rushed to Sarutobi Hiruzen for the first time after the Fire Rock disappeared. You can't go. Sarutobi Hiruzen refused again, you have to know. At this time, the Water Country has completed the blockade. As long as you dare to show up in the Water Country, you can't escape in time. Mizukage will kill you personally. You are more important than Yuhan, understand? Under normal circumstances, with the strength of Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru, the entire ninja world can go anywhere, and no one can stop them. The problem now is that the country of water has been blocked, and Kurigakure has completed various layouts and set up various obstacles in the country of water. Even with the strength of Tsunade, they are likely to be held back. As long as they are held back, they cannot. If you leave the country of water in time, you will inevitably suffer a thunderous attack. Sarutobi Hiruzen can be sure that as long as the Tsunade 3 dare to show up in the land of water, Mizukage will definitely do it himself. In the same way, if the 7 people of the Ninja Sword of Mist appear in the country of fire and cannot leave in time, Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely take action in person. Teacher, but Han, he is being chased by the 7 ninja swordsmen. He is alone. Tsunade's anxious tone was shaking. I'll send someone. Danzo's voice suddenly sounded from the side. Chapter 0193_Senro. Lord Danzo. Tsunade suddenly turned his head to look at Danzo. Danzo said that he sent someone. It must be the ninja of Anbu route. The number of root ninja is much less than that of Anbu directly under Hokage, but the average strength is higher than Hokage is directly under Anbu, and in some ways the root ninja is stronger than the Anbu ninja. Let my people go, Danzo said again, glancing at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Han Guang is a genius, maybe even another, White Fang, who must be rescued. Who to send? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. Danzo's proposal was a good one, but Han was being hunted down by the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and the General Jonin also had the strength to bring people back. I asked Senluo to go, and he just finished this periodical treatment for 3 months. Danzo said. Senrao. Sarutobi Hiruzen muttered and pondered. Tsunade, who was extremely anxious in her heart, changed her face. This was the 3rd time she heard the name, Senra. Sarutobi Hiruzen never took the initiative to talk to Tsunade, but Tsunade was often by Sarutobi Hiruzen's side. Compared to the lazy Jiraiya, Orochimaru who often retreats in practice, Tsunade may be the most helpful to Sarutobi Hiruzen among the 3 disciples of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The first 2 times I heard the name, Senrao, were from Sarutobi Hiruzen's conversation with Danzo. Tsunade only knows that Senra is an existence that is not inferior to Hatake Tsukumo, and is an ace at the root, but it seems that he has some kind of disease, and he can rarely perform tasks. Tsukumo is not here, then let Senra go. Sarutobi Hiruzen finally decided. In fact, he was very melancholy, but he had no choice. Han is Anbu's ninja. He had an accident in the land of water. Sarutobi Hiruzen can only let his cronies solve the problem. He can't give orders to the strong such as Uchiha and Hyuga, because the main meaning of Anbu's existence is to consolidate Hokage authority to maintain Hokage's status. Anbu has a problem, and it is best for Anbu to fix it himself. It to someone else would, in a way, take a toll on Hokage's prestige as well as Anbu's. I'm going to inform Senluo now and let him go to the land of water as soon as possible. Danzo looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said, seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen nod, he immediately disappeared in place. The room was quiet. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to be thinking about something and sat down slowly, his face sometimes gloomy and sometimes doubtful. Teacher, Tsunade called out. No guarantee, Sarutobi Hiruzen said directly, shaking his head and looking at Tsunade. No one can guarantee that people will be brought back. Even if I go, there is Mizukage in the land of water, and I can't do anything. What? Tsunade lowered his head slightly, bit the corner of his lower lip subconsciously, and didn't know what to think. He paused and looked up again. Teacher, that Senluo is quiet. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent for a while before he spoke. He was a failed experiment, the only one who survived that experiment. But there are flaws, although the strength has been increasing, but most of the time every year is accepted. Healing, now that he has less than 5 years left in his lifespan. He is very strong, and when he is awake, his strength is no less than that of Tsukumo. Sarutobi Hiruzen still did not elaborate, and Tsunade didn't know which experiment he was referring to as that experiment. Tsunade could feel that Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to want to hide something, but also seemed to be scruples. Somewhere in Konoha village, underground, in a dimly lit cave hall. There is a wooden frame every 2 meters by the wall, and a brazier is placed on the wooden frame. If you count it around, the brazier is exactly 108. The firelight is jumping, and the brightness is suddenly strong and weak, which sets off the dim cave hall. Of eerie horror. The ground of the main hall is not a splicing of stone slabs, but a whole huge rock slab, extremely flat, without the slightest cracks. Black curse prints are all over the rock ground, the patterns are complicated, and the strange aura is fluctuating. The center of the hall. A round steel Jinchuriki column covered with curse marks stood. There were 5 chains connected to the steel Jinchuriki column. The figure in the blood-colored robe was bound by chains on his limbs and neck. He sat cross-legged on the ground in front of the steel Jinchuriki column. Breathless, motionless. Huh, the figure in the scarlet robe suddenly sat up straight. That bastard is here again. Gia, damn bastard, I finally know to come to see me, but I don't know if there are any gifts. The strange tone full of morbid feelings, slightly hoarse. Call, whoa, call, whoa, call, whoa. The flames in the 108 braziers around the hall beat even more violently, shrinking neatly into flames, and then becoming vigorous at the same time. Repeating this, the hall became dark. Bright, dark, bright, repeatedly. Danzo walked through the dim passage and entered the great hall. Just as he stepped into the hall with one foot, the flames in the 108 braziers extinguished at the same time, and the entire hall became pitch black. You're getting stronger again, and that can't limit your power. Danzo's voice was filled with relief. No respond. You're boring, Danzo added. Snapped. The crisp snap of his fingers, 108 braziers burst into flames at the same time. The figure in the blood robe sitting cross-legged in front of Yu Gang's Jinchuriki column was straight, but his head hung down strangely, and the huge kabuto hat was buckled on him. On his head so that no one can see his face. Lord Danzo, you, finally here. Where's my gift? The blood-robed figure's nervous tone contained a pleasing tone, as if it wasn't him who had cursed Danzo before. No gifts, Danzo said. Bastard. Then what are you doing? The figure in the blood robe immediately turned his face and cursed. There's a mission. Danzo wasn't annoyed at all, he was used to it. Is there a mission? What mission? Hurry up, can I go out? Isn't it? I need you to go to the land of water. The land of water. What to do? Is there anything fun to do? Murder. Murder. Yes, killing, murdering, ha ha ha. The blood-robed figure suddenly raised his head. Under the shadow of the kabuto hat, on the pale and bloodless face of the young man, a pair of Sharingan with complicated lines shone with a strange light. Senluo, don't stare at me with Mangekyo. Danzo said lightly. Chapter 0194_blue spell. Ha 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 ha, are you afraid? Are you afraid of my Mangekyo? Ha 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 ha, ha ha ha. Senluo laughed frantically, and the creepy laughter echoed in the empty cave hall. Danzo stood near the entrance with a blank face. He was used to Senluo's nervousness. If he didn't get nervous, he would not be Senluo. Lord Danzo, can you let me go? Senluo finally stopped smiling and said in a weird tone. Danzo raised his hand directly. His hands were as fast as phantoms, and the gestures changed rapidly by colliding continuously. This was an extremely complicated seal, but Danzo completed the seal in just 1 second. Wow! Gray-like chakra fluctuations emanated from Danzo, like a shock wave, sweeping the entire hall. The special fluctuations emitted by the complex curse marks on the ground of the main hall quickly disappeared, and at the same time, there was a sound of crackling, and the chains that bound Senluo's neck and limbs were all unlocked and fell off. Boom! A terrifying aura emanated from the blood-robed figure, and a gust of wind broke out in the entire hall. It took a while for the wind to fade away. Senluo raised his hand to support the back of his neck, kneaded, shaking his head and making a crispy. You only have 3 months. After 3 months, your condition will deteriorate again. If you can't get back in time, then you Danzo stopped talking before he finished speaking. The wind blew against his face, but it was Sen Luo who appeared directly in front of him like a ghost, staring at him with a pair of slowly turning Mangekyo Sharingan. Sen Luo didn't run here. He floated in front of Danzo with his feet almost 10 centimeters off the ground. Because Sen Luo is shorter and his body is very thin, the two of them are almost looking at each other. Lord Danzo, you're talking too much. Sen Luo stared at Danzo, their faces very close, you know. How much do I want to kill you? You'd better get rid of this thought. I can kill you with a single thought. Danzo didn't change his face. His tone was still light, and while he was talking, black lines appeared on Sen Luo's pale face, forming a complete curse mark, covering his entire face. Hey, Danzo-sama, I'm joking, are you serious? Sen Luo grinned and said somewhat ingratiatingly. This joke is not funny, Danzo said. Xiao Xiao is wrong, can you forgive Xiao Xiao? Or, Xiao Xiao will give you eyes. You really want it? This pair of Mangekyo. I don't want to be a lunatic like you, keep it to yourself. Ha ha ha, lunatic, ha ha ha, Mr. Danzo, you have won the prize. This person. Danzo was a little impatient. He took out the scroll and shook it away, and a portrait of Han appeared on the hanging scroll. Chan. Orphan, just 13 years old, especially Jonin's strength, is currently suffering from fog in the country of water. The 7 ninja swordsmen's pursuit. I need you to kill him, and put the blame on the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, or you cannot take action and induce the 7 people of the ninja swords of mist to kill him. It's okay to drop him, as long as he can die. Sen Luo's eyes were attracted by the scroll portrait. He looked at it, slowly raised his hand and took the scroll in his hand, with a strange smile on his face, raised one eyebrow again, and the corner of his mouth twitched. An incomprehensible expression. Is that what Sarutobi Hiruzen meant by that hypocritical bastard? Senra asked with a weird smile. No, that's what I mean. This is the person Hokage sees. He wants you to bring him back alive, but I want him to die. Danzo said very bluntly. He didn't deceive Sen Luo. Thank you, Lord Danzo, for your frankness. Sen Luo put away the scroll and grinned again. Lord Danzo, I hope you can prepare a present for me when I come back next time. You have to complete the task. Ha 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 ha. Complete the mission. Just kill one person. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Call. The laughter was still echoing, but Sen Luo had already disappeared in front of Danzo, in the cave hall. 13 days later, the northern island of the Land of Water, the southern coast. The sound of the tide bursts, and the unique salty smell of the ocean permeates the forest on the south coast. Lu Han is sitting on the branch of the tree without hiding any traces. The whole body is rippling with thunder attribute chakra fluctuations. He frowned, as if something was bothering him. Really annoying. Because it has been more than half a month, Lu Han has not filled the blade of Jinghong with thunder attribute chakra, and the blue curse pattern representing Jinghong Peerless has not yet appeared. There are 2 reasons. The first is that the speed of absorbing and storing thunder attribute chakra is very slow, and the retention is very poor. Lu Han injects 50% of his chakra into the sword, which takes at least 3 hours. If you inject it all at once, it will not remain at all, and it will dissipate immediately. It must be injected slowly. 50% of the chakra will be injected in 3 hours, but part of the chakra will also dissipate. What can be left in the end should be equivalent to Lu Hancha. 30% of the total carat. The second reason was that Lu Han had to sleep, avoid danger, find a way out, and practice. He didn't have much time every day to inject lightning-type chakra into the blade of frightening hunger. But even so, it has been more than half a month since Lu Han obtained the Blade of Astonishment. At this time, the thunder attribute chakra stored by the Blade of Astonishment is equivalent to 10 times of Lu Han's own total chakra. But still unable to activate open black lens bracket Jinghong Peerless close black lens bracket. The reason why Lu Han was still wandering around the northern island was that he was waiting for the blue stripes to appear on the knife. From the northern island to the central island, it was necessary to cross the sea. Lu Han had to travel at least a whole day at sea, and exposure can be said to be inevitable. With the stunt of Jinghong Peerless, Lu Hankai is more confident to break through after encountering an interception. Lu Han suddenly sat up straight and stared at the blade. He continued to inject the thunder attribute chakra into the blade of Jinghong. At this moment, a blue curse pattern slowly appeared on the blade, and Lu Han immediately felt that the blade of Jinghong stopped checking the thunder attribute. The absorption of carrot and the chakra output by Lu Han all dissipated directly after entering the blade of astonishment. It's done. It's finally done. Lu Han finally smiled, turned over, got off the tree, and went straight to the beach. Hit the road. Chapter 0195_Discover the Cold Light. Since the Zhenbei village incident, Lu Han has been fleeing in the country of water for more than a month. Almost every day, he encounters Kurigakure ninjas and seabird ninjas. According to the time, all other Konoha Anbu ninjas should have left the country of water. If there are still people who haven't left, then they must have been killed or captured. Lu Han was the only target to be traced. His physical characteristics have been fully mastered by Kurigakure. Therefore, compared to the more than 20 Anbu ninjas, it was 10 or even 100 times more difficult for Lu Han to escape from the land of water. Not to mention leaving the country of water, it is extremely difficult to just leave the North Island. This is also related to the unique geographical environment of the water country. The archipelago country, from one island to another island, must cross the sea, even if Lu Han has a bug-like auxiliary ability such as insight maps. If it is at sea, not much use. He can detect in advance that there is an enemy approaching, but there is nowhere to hide at sea. So Lu Han has been waiting. He needs more protection before going to cross the sea at the risk of exposure, because he knows that Ringo Rahe and Ma Ankang are still on the northern island, and the northern island is relative to the water. As far as the main island in the center of the country is concerned, it is just a small island. After the people of Ringo and Ma Ankang arrived at the northern island, no other members of the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist came. On the endless sea, the water was surging, ripples rippling from south to north, the waves were only 10 centimeters high, and the wind was not too strong. A glimpse of the shadow walked on the water, ran wildly on the sea, and was extremely fast from being to the south. Lu Han took out all his speed and tried to speed up as much as possible. According to his estimation, if he continued to advance at this speed, it would take at least 1 day and 1 night to cross the sea and reach the main island of the land of water. Lu Han did not dare to delay in the slightest. At his current running speed, all chakra will be exhausted in 2 hours at most, and he is ready to use potion to replenish chakra. Can't stop. Although Lu Han really wanted to kill the people of Ringo Rahe and Ma Ankang, it was one thing to think about it, and another thing to do it on his own initiative. For Lu Han at this time, it was better not to meet him if he could. Noon. Lu Han was still running wildly on the sea, and when he looked around, there was nothing but water as far as the eye could see. The wind and waves were strong, the waves were bursting, and there was plenty of water vapor permeating the sea, but Lu Han felt very hot, because the sun at sea was very poisonous and very drying, and Lu Han had been in a state of high-intensity exercise. It's also getting hot. Lu Han suddenly made a nasal sound, frowned and stopped. On the insight map he just opened, 5 kilometers to the south, there are 8 Yuhi points. The big Yuhi point is displayed as Kurigakure Scout Troop, Level 30 Elite, Band. The strongest is the most common Jonin, the other 7 should not be Jonin. Lu Han looked up, his eyes narrowed, and 3 Tomo Sharingan appeared. Humans can see very far on the sea. Lu Han's eyesight is extraordinary, and with the blessing of 3 Tomo Sharingan, Lu Han sees it. 5 kilometers away, a boat looms, a patrol boat from the village of Kurigakure. If you kill them, it won't be long before Kurigakure finds out that although it is impossible to directly judge that the murderer is me, they will definitely suspect that they will intensify their search for this area. Lu Han thought for a while and made a decision. 10 minutes later, Lu Han, who had circled a large arc on the sea, bypassed the patrol boat of Kurigakure, appeared 5 kilometers south of the patrol boat, and continued to run wildly south. He has no intention of robbing the patrol boat. For powerful ninjas, the sea is like walking on the ground. They can run and jump without worrying about falling into the water and drowning. The meaning of the patrol boat is actually for the Kurigakure ninja who blocked the sea and searched. Provide a place to rest. After all, the ninja is standing on the water, and it is necessary to continue to consume chakra. For Lu Han, the speed of the patrol boat on the sea is not as fast as he is, and it is difficult for him to control such a large boat by himself. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This speed. It's a ninja beast. Lu Han, who had just opened the Insight map, was shocked. On the Insight map with a maximum range of 10 kilometers, a Yuhi point appeared on the edge of the northern map, and quickly approached the middle of the map. The mobile courier that surpassed Lu Han's madness is the seabird ninja beast. Damn it, has it seen it? Lu Han suddenly turned around and looked towards the horizon. The so-called standing high and looking far away, the seabird ninja beasts flying at an altitude of 1,000 meters can easily see the scenery and things that are several kilometers or even dozens of kilometers below. If it is on land in the forest, it is better to say that there are shelter. If the distance is too far, the line of sight will inevitably be blocked, but at sea, there is no obstruction. Of course, seeing is one thing, seeing clearly is another. The ability to see things several kilometers away depends entirely on their vision. Lu Han insisted on driving the Insight map, and after a few breaths after he turned around, the moving Yuhi point on the small map suddenly stopped, and then he drew a U-shaped line on the map, and it went around half a circle again. Flying to the north, the speed is a little faster than before. Discover the cold light. Report back. Sure enough, Lu Han's face changed greatly. He put away the small map in an instant, and the whole person turned into a shadow and went south. Run. Run as far as you can. Lu Han already knew that he would inevitably be overtaken by some enemies. The question is whether to be overtaken by a few or by a group. As long as Lu Han keeps running, runs far enough, and runs fast enough, there will be fewer ninjas who can catch up with Lu Han, and the battle will be easier for Lu Han at that time. An hour later, the northern island of the Land of Water, the temporary base of Kurigakure, the northern island blocked the headquarters of the search operation. There are some temporary buildings built along the mountain wall in a mountain forest, and it is extremely busy with people coming and going. There are not only a large number of Kurigakure ninjas, but also ordinary people 10 times as many as ninjas. They are all dispatched by the daimyo of the country of water. Here, assist Kurigakure with the blockade search. The center of the temporary residence, a temporary 3-story tower. Chirp. The blue-gray bird ninja slammed open the window and flew directly into the lobby. Chapter 0196_Ma Ankang. In the lobby on the first floor of the tower. Ringo Rahei sat in the main seat and listened to the report with a serious expression. On the chair next to him, Ma Ankang, whose temperament was so gloomy and cold, was sitting slightly crooked, his face full of impatience. The flounder in his hands sometimes glowed blue, and sometimes receded. He seemed bored and kept playing with the flounder knife. There are still 9 people in the house, all of them are Jonin, and the one who is reporting to Ringo Rahei is an elite Jonin. After the death of Gaidong Chaohei, he came to Bibu Island to take the position of Gaidong Chaohei. Village. At present, we have completed the search for a large hiding area in the south of the island, and confirmed 3 suspicious traces. Based on the information of the last half-month, the person should not have left the North Island, but we did not send it out to find them. The possibility of the wrong target. Yu Zhuang respectfully stood in front of Ringo Rahei, reporting the intelligence results that had been summarized and analyzed recently. Other 8 Jonin were standing behind Yu Zhuang, lined up in 2 rows, not daring to breathe, and all lowered their heads. Any of the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist is someone they need to look up to. They are notorious for their cruelty and ruthlessness. In Kurigakure village, even Jonin will have an instinct for the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist. Of fear. It has been more than half a month since Ringo and Ma Ankang arrived on the northern island. According to the order of Munashi Ghost 7, the northern island is the responsibility of the two of them. Whether they can detect the cold light or not, they must stay in the water. The country has been stationed here until the end of the blockade period. For more than half a month, the two have only conducted search operations in the first few days, and have been staying at the temporary station to wait for news after that. It's not that they are lazy, but that staying at the station allows them to respond faster after getting the news of the cold light. Besides, if it is a search, it is not bad for the two of them. Quote, After our analysis, that person should still be on the island, hiding all the time. Every time we sweep and search, he will change his hiding place. Enough. A sudden cold drink interrupted Yu Zhuang's voice, and the lobby was suddenly covered with a sense of coldness. Silence. Ringo Rahey frowned, turned his head to look at the Maankang people, but heard the Maankang people say again, "You bastards, you can't handle such a little thing. Thousands of people can't find a single person, and they are still here. What is the use of the analysis here? Where is the person? Have you found someone? Stop talking nonsense. A bunch of useless waste." As he spoke, the Maankang man, who was playing with flounder with double knives, raised his head and swept over the Jonin with his cold eyes like a poisonous snake. 9 Jonins lowered their heads even lower, not daring to refute them at all. Ringo Hiyori kept tilting his head and looked at Maankang. His eyes flickered slightly, but he didn't say anything. Ringo Hiwa is dominant in the duo, he never uttered an opinion that went against Asakura's ideas. As the youngest member of the 7 Ninja Blades of Mist, Maankang has the weakest strength, but the strongest potential. He is still very young, and his future achievements are likely to exceed any other members of the current 7 Ninja Blades of Mist. Maankang looked to be over 25 years old, but he was actually only 19. He entered Kurigakure Anbu at the age of 12, was promoted to the squad leader at the age of 13, and failed to compete for the position of Anbu captain at the age of 15. Members of the people. The former owner of the double knife flounder died at the hands of the Maankang people. The Maankang people at that time were just elite Jonin, but he was more ruthless, more pervert, and more fearless, because he didn't want to die, he was a lunatic. So he succeeded. However, although he won the duel, he was seriously injured, and it was Mizukage who assisted him in performing the S-level forbidden technique to pull him back from the god of death. That forbidden technique can only be used once every 10 years or so, because Maankang is a real genius. Mizukage agreed to save him. At this time, the reason why Maankang looked older and paler was because he was injured in the duel and was rescued by forbidden technique. He permanently lost some of his lifespan, and this damage was irreversible. However, it doesn't matter. Maankang people are still very young. He still has a monstrous ninja talent, and even in the future, he is likely to become the strongest of the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist in the past. Remember my words, if you can't find your target before the end of the blockade period, you will all die. Maankang smiled grimly, I will do what I say. 9 Jonins were sweating like rain, and none of them dared to raise their heads. Ringo Riwa turned around again, cleared his mind, looked at the 9 Jonins again, and said indifferently, go ahead. Yes, my lord. Yu Zhuang took the lead, and the 9 Jonin agreed with a bang. Wow! The window suddenly opened, and a pigeon-sized seabird with blue-gray wings and blue-gray back rushed into the lobby, and let out a sharp cry, target found. Target found. In the central North Sea, it's that person, that's him. Ringo Hiwa and Maankora stood up at the same time. Jonbei Hai, he's going to flee to the main island. Ringo said with a discolored expression. Okay, let's kill him now. Maankang's eyes flashed with excitement. 2 adults. Yu Zhuanglian took a step forward. My subordinates are willing to bring someone with me, and I will help Lord Ni to bring that person to ashes. Revenge for Captain Chowhei. Yu Zhuang's righteousness is awe-inspiring, but the people of Maankang narrowed their eyes slightly. Do you want to share the credit? Maankang stepped in front of Yu Zhuang, and his expression became terrifying. Big. Lord, subordinates don't dare. Yu Zhuang took 2 steps back in fright, his voice trembling. Divide the credit. When 2 members of the 7 Ninja Blades of Mist go after a target, they will definitely complete the mission. So as long as anyone goes with them to carry out the task, even if they do nothing, they will have a credit. Yu Zhuang did have the meaning of taking credit, but he didn't expect that Ma Ankang's people could see through his mind instantly. Kangren, we should go. Ringo's voice came from behind Ma Ankangren. Humph. Ma Ankang, who had raised the knife slightly, snorted coldly, and put it down slowly. Lead the way. Ringo Hiyori looked at Asuka Ninja again. Chapter 0197_Spike. At dusk. On the surging sea, Lu Han, who had been running for a long time, finally stopped, and he found an island. This is a super small island. The part on the sea is no more than 100 square meters. It is a long strip of sand, and the island is useless except for sand. This kind of island is not marked on the official map of the Land of Water. It is small because on the one hand, and on the other hand, as long as the tide is high, the rising seawater will cover up this small island. Lu Han speculated that the Kurigakure ninja on the northern island should have gotten the news, and the person who was chasing was already on the way, but he was in no hurry. Above, at an altitude of 1,000 meters, 2 birds and ninja beasts are flying around in circles. They appeared half an hour ago, and since then, Lu Han has known that he can't escape. The art of water and iron cannons. Standing beside the sand, Lu Han raised his hand and shot water bullets into the water, whoosh whoosh. 3 times in a row, all of them slammed into the seawater, followed by another wave of Lu Han's hand, and several hops of chakras from his fingertips out, shooting like water, and pulling again. The 3 big fish that had been pierced by water bullets in their heads were pulled from the sea to the sand. Make a fire. Grilled fish. Have a meal. Soon after, the sky was dark and the horizon was full of yuhisha. A fire was raised on the sandy island, and the aroma of grilled fish was permeating. Lu Han sat by the fire, holding kuwu in his hand, and ate the grilled fish stuck in kuwu in large mouthfuls. He already knew that he could not escape. It's clear that someone will come after you soon, so why bother running? Eat and drink and prepare for battle. It's getting dark, so don't come yet. Lu Han muttered vaguely while eating the grilled fish, then raised his head to look at the sky. The 2 seabird ninjas were still circling. It was too high, Lu Han couldn't fly, and naturally it was impossible to knock him down. Open the small map again and see, the maximum insight range of 10 kilometers, Lu Han, who was biting the grilled fish, suddenly condensed, coming. 3 Yuhi points appear 5 kilometers to the north and are rapidly approaching the center. 5 kilometers to the north, on the sea, 2 figures ran fast. Just in front of the heads of the 2, the seabird ninja was leading the way, and the speed was no slower than the 2. Ringo Day and Ma Ankang people. Here they come. 5 kilometers is not a very long distance. Soon, both Ringo and Ma Ankang saw the distant island, the fire on the island, and the person beside the fire. Ringo Rahei and Ma Ankang quickly approaching with a blank expression and indifference. Chirp. The bird ninja beast who led the way chirped, and immediately rose into the sky. The 2 flying ninja beasts in the sky also chirped. They converged at an altitude of 1,000 meters and circled in the air again. Even if they flew north together, their mission was completed. Call. Ringo Hiwa and Ma Ankang stopped on the sea more than 100 meters away. Arrogant brat. The gloomy Ma Ankang man stared at Lu Han, grinned, his eyes flashed with ferocity. Apparently in his opinion, Lu Han did not continue to run, but waited for someone to come here. That is arrogance. It's really only him, Ringo said in a low voice, frowning. How many people? Ma Ankang glanced at Ringo Hiwa. Does it matter? No, Ringo said simply. Then what are you waiting for? Come on, you don't need 2 people to kill him, you should pay attention to your surroundings. As you like. Ma Ankang spread his hands, he agreed with Ringo Rahei's words, killing Han Guang, 1 person is enough. Although he killed the blood mist, but that was relying on poisoning. How strong can a ninja of his age be? Elite Jonin. Can kill at will. The wind picked up. When Ringo Rahei stared at Luhan again, there were violent chakra fluctuations on his body, which brought the wind. The sea water under Ringo Rahei's feet seemed to be repelled. Of waves. Raising his hands over his shoulders, Ringo Rahei grabbed the hilt of the two knives behind him, and slowly took down the two knives hanging on his back. It was a pair of knives with strange shapes. Road stab. His knife. Kiba. Thunder knife Kiba, the fastest knife ever. Luhan looked at Ringo Rahei, and when he took out his weapon, he also raised his knife. The tip of the knife pointed directly at Ringo Rahei. With a very simple action, Luhan was still expressionless and indifferent. He was not afraid. I don't know how to live or die. Ma Ankang's mouth crooked. Boom. A huge wave suddenly broke out on the sea, but it was Ringo Rahei that suddenly surged up, and the violent chakra broke out under his feet and formed an impact on the sea surface. Charge forward with an extremely ferocious and terrifying posture. Fast to the limit. People fast. Knives are faster. Like a thunderous attack, he obviously wanted to kill Luhan immediately. Time seemed to slow down. Luhan watched the huge waves rise, and felt that the violent chakra was getting closer and closer, and the vague figure seemed to have arrived in front of him. In Luhan's eyes, a pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan spun rapidly. Death. Ringo's thunderous roar was close at hand as soon as it appeared. Okay, Luhan replied calmly. In an instant, the sky and the earth were as bright as day, and the blade of Jinghong first lit up a blue-white high-brightness light, and then a lightning ball appeared on the tip of the blade. The lightning ball quickly expanded over 10 meters in diameter and emitted a number of rays. There are not many thunder and lightning, and the lightning and lightning are intertwined, forming a network of attacking lightning that covers a radius of 100 meters. The huge thunderball blasted out, with a terrifying power that seemed to tear apart space, and bombarded forward 1 kilometer at a speed that surpassed ordinary lightning. Then it exploded into a light that almost blinded people's eyes. Jinghong's blade stunt. Jinghong peerless. White light, ringing in the ears, and the world becomes unreal. The shock wave that seemed to destroy everything, set off a monstrous wave dozens of meters high, and blasted away like a tsunami. Fortunately, the huge thunderball didn't explode until it hit a kilometer away. Although the shock wave was big, it didn't have much power when it reached the sandy island. Ringo Hiwa is gone, he's dead. Dead without a corpse. Spike. Luhan could see that more than 20 falling objects were flying towards him quickly. Chapter-181-200 Power. The 7 members of the Mist Ninja Sword, Ringo Hiyori. Die. The true sense of the instant kill, facing the attack of Jinghong Peerless, Ringo Rahei has no power to fight back. If he was farther away, he might be able to dodge, but if not, he was too close at that time, although he already felt it. When it comes to the fluctuation of the thunder attribute chakra, it is too late to avoid it. He's dead, no bones left. Thunderblade Kiba should not have been destroyed, but I don't know where it went. Jinghong Peerless attacked from a very far distance. The force of that impact knocked Thunderblade Kiba out at 10 kilometers. It is possible that this is the sea again. If it falls into the deep sea, it will be even more difficult to find it. The Ma Ankang man in midair was extremely horrified, his eyes widened, and he looked at Luhan from afar. To be precise, he was looking at Luhan's weapon, the Sword of Astonishment. He jumped up when Luhan launched the Jinghong Peerless attack. The huge thunderball didn't attack him, but the thunderlight that spread around shrouded his position, and he had to jump up to avoid the thunderlight. This is the power of Jinghong Peerless. Luhan was also shocked. The power to kill the super elite Jonin in 1 second is undoubtedly terrifying. Although it means a sneak attack, if it is launched suddenly, Ringo Hiyori cannot respond in time, but its power is undeniable. Even if it is a little distance away, the possibility of Ringo Hikawa dodging is very low. If his master is instant defense, whether it can be defended against ninjutsu is unknown. At the same time, more than 100 kilometers to the south. Boom! A huge splash of water dozens of meters high suddenly burst out from the sea, but a blood-robed figure burst out of the sea, quickly vacated to several hundred meters, and then quickly fell. When there was still half a meter from the sea, the force of repulsion was under his feet. Appeared, making him hover over the sea. Very powerful Raiden, thunder-style, chakra fluctuations. Under the fat Kabuto hat, a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan slowly rotated, flashing with suspicion. This is the land of water, not the land of thunder. How could it be? Quote. He can sense the Raiden, thunder-style, chakra fluctuations more than 100 kilometers away. It's so annoying, it's getting dark, and this kind of thing happens at this time. I haven't eaten dinner yet. That bastard Danzo, what a shit mission, even no one can be found. The figure in the blood robe murmured dissatisfied. He hesitated. Are you going to eat? Or go check it out? Or do you want to check it out after dinner? For a psychopath, this is a question worth pondering. Uzumaki is soon formed. Fortunately, this is the sea, and there is enough seawater to make up. If it is land, no matter how big the lake is, the lake water will be completely evaporated. More than 20 pieces of streamer light drilled into Luhan's body, and Luhan also looked up at the Ma Ankang man. That knife. Ma Ankang stared at the Jinghong blade in Luhan's hand, fell back to the water from the air, fell into the sea, jumped out again and stood on the sea again. He still stared at Jinghong's blade. Hanji's blade, his eyes glowed with frenzy. As the owner of the double knife flounder, Ma Ankang knows very well what ninjutsu is and what weapon skills are. He can be sure that the attack just now is not a technique, but comes from that knife. Does your knife have a name? What's it called? Ma Ankang suddenly looked up at Luhan's face. His teammate Ringo Rehei had just died, but he didn't seem to care. Why should I tell you? Luhan said in a single voice, and with a flick of his wrist, the sword of thunder disappeared. The Ma Ankang man's eyes widened a bit again. First he was angry, and then he cried out in ecstasy, "Can you still disappear? Can you still carry it on your body like this?" Luhan didn't answer Ma Ankang's question, stared at it, touched his hand to the back waist again, and took off the blade of Kurigakure hanging diagonally on the back waist. That knife, where did you get it? You talk too much. Call. Luhan's one-handed hand seal abruptly disappeared in place, and then a thick fog surged up, covering the location of the Ma Ankang people in an instant, and it continued to spread outward to cover a larger area. Kurigakure. The technique of Kurigakure. Ma Ankang was stunned for a moment, then all the hair on his body exploded. No. It's not the technique of Kurigakure. Even my vision is blocked, it's Kai. The sound of an explosion resounded behind Ma Ankang's body, and Ma Ankang's people reacted in an instant, turning around and waving the two swords in a staggered manner, knocking out the inexhaustible number of the blazes. Through the sweeping sickle. Luhan's kunai was the bait, and the sickle was the ultimate move. He tried his best not to make a sound, but he was still felt by the Ma Ankang people. Damn! Ma Ankang shouted angrily, while swinging his knife. A strong sweetened, water-style, chakra oscillated all over his body. Chapter-199-bursting blood mist. Damn, how could you do this technique? How could it be possible? Ma Ankang made a shrill voice. His body plummeted instantly, and he fled into the sea, continuing to dive down to escape. Boom, boom tilde. Bloody Yuhi color exploded violently. The area of the explosion was also the area where the dense fog existed. It was more than 300 square meters. The fire at the center of the explosion was the most violent. The farther away from the center, the weaker the power. This sea surface turned into a sea of fire. The fire continued to exist, the burning was extremely violent, and the explosion continued, as if countless bombs were hidden in the dense fog, and the sea water was continuously evaporated to many layers. Terrifying power. The art of blood fog. The S-level forbidden technique that requires a dense fog environment to perform. The caster needs to spit out his own blood after the hand seal. The blood turns into a real blood mist and spreads around. Using the thick mist as a medium, it spreads more than 100 meters in an instant, and then the fire attribute chakra in each blood mist droplet simultaneously. Burst. The blood mist droplets are extremely small and cannot store too much chakra. The power of bursting into flames is limited, but the blood mist is a large piece. At the same time, the bursting will produce an indescribable chain effect, and the successive explosions will spread to a huge range. The instantly evaporated mist will be transformed into an extremely high-temperature gas, which has a terrifying burn effect. This is a kind of secret technique that can attack a large area in a group. It is powerful, but it is a forbidden technique that can injure 1,000 enemies and 100 and 800. To cast the blood mist technique, not only does the caster need to consume a lot of Kaden, fire-style chakra, but also actively vomit blood. It must also be a lot of blood. There is only so much blood in the human body. Unless the master has special abilities, as long as a certain amount of blood is lost, the body's functions will immediately begin to decline, and in severe cases, it will directly shock and lead to death. If Kurigakure Anbu's leader, Blood Mist, casts this spell, he will immediately enter a state of serious injury and weakness. But Lu Han won't. Because he is a subversive. Even if he loses all his blood, he will not die. When he casts a blood mist technique, he only loses 8% of his blood value, which will not have any effect on his state. If he is no longer injured, it only takes a short period of time, the blood volume value will automatically return to full. 30 meters underwater. Ma Ankang stared wide-eyed at the flames that had not yet dissipated on the water 30 meters above him, and the whole person was stunned. As one of the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist, he naturally knew the skills of Captain Kurigakure Anbu. How can it be? How could Han Guang be able to do this technique? Keeping his breath, Ma Ankang always hovered at 30 meters underwater. The reason why he wanted to hide so deep was because the seawater above and near the water surface had all been boiled, and a large number of boiled fish were coming from the water. The top is falling down one after another, colorful and looks spectacular. It was a shoal of sea fish that was quickly cooked by high-temperature seawater. When the flames of the blood mist technique erupted, this huge fish shoal consisting of tens of thousands of fish was swimming more than 10 meters below the sea surface. All cooked. It took more than 20 seconds for the fire on the sea above to dissipate, and the high-temperature seawater was rapidly cooled by the influence of the surrounding icy seawater. On the sea. You can hide quickly. Lu Han stood on the sea, holding the blade of Kurigakure in one hand, and quickly took out some small blue bottles in the other hand to drink. The chakra consumed a lot. But it didn't kill the Ma Ankang people. In fact, Lu Han didn't expect the blood fog technique to kill the Ma Ankang people. This kind of group attack technique itself is used to kill weak ninjas in groups, and this is a marine environment, which is easy to avoid. Human strength. If this is killed, he doesn't deserve to be a member of the 7 ninja swordsmen of mist. Lu Han just wanted to try the power of this technique. Boom. 100 meters ahead, the surface of the water suddenly exploded, and the Ma Ankang man jumped out and stood on the surface of the water, panting violently, staring at Lu Han and asking in a low voice, "Why do you use this technique?" "Why should I answer you?" Lu Han raised his eyebrows. "You." Ma Ankang's face became angry, his eyes swept up and down Lu Han, his face changed again, and he exclaimed, "Are you okay? Are you not injured? Why do you have so many questions?" Lu Han smiled slightly and waved the blade of Kurigakure in his hand. "The fog is back. Damn brat, shameless and filthy bastards. Don't hide your head and show your tail, if you have the ability to fight Grandpa head-on." The Ma Ankang man jumped and scolded angrily. He was not a calm person at all. Thick fog shrouded a radius of several hundred meters again. In Lu Han's eyes, the dense fog does not exist. He circled around 100 meters away from the Ma Ankang people, and shut up in an instant, entering a dark state. The whole person quickly approached the Ma Ankang people in a floating state. There was no sound, no breath, no wind. Lu Han turned into a ghost in the fog and approached the Ma Ankang people in an extremely ghostly manner. He had already raised the sickle in his hand. Sweden, water style, Kurigakure art. The Ma Ankang man suddenly disappeared in front of Lu Han's eyes. The thick fog obscured the figure of the Ma Ankang man. Even if Lu Han tried his best to urge Sharingan, he couldn't see through. Sharingan couldn't see through. Chapter 0200 Lu Han vs. Ma Ankang. Night falls silently. The two powerful figures have already started fighting for their lives. The duel between swords and scythes. Compared with the double knife flounder, the Kurigakure's blade has a larger attack angle and defense angle, while the double knife is more versatile, which can be used for one attack and one defense, or the same attack and defense. In terms of weapons, it cannot be said that who has the advantage. In terms of sword skills, Ma Ankang is stronger, and his sword is faster. It is more clever and vicious, so since the beginning of the fight, Lu Han has always been at a disadvantage. Most of the time he is on defense, and only occasionally can he counterattack. In terms of swordsmanship, the only thing that Lu Han did not lose to the Ma Ankang people was the power of the sword. The wind is getting stronger at sea. The sea of anger is full of waves, and the sword is invisible. The speed of the movement of the two is as fast as ultimate, and every time there is a confrontation between knives and knives, it will bring a powerful shock wave, causing huge waves to rise from the sea. Lu Han has been being pressed and beaten all the time, but he is not in a hurry. His state of mind is extremely peaceful and calm, and when he is not in a hurry, he is waiting for the real night to come. More suitable for him. The Ma Ankang people are a little impatient, and they are getting more and more anxious. He is not afraid of the dark night, he is anxious, that is because he did not kill Lu Han quickly, and it is not just angry, he is also worried that Lu Han will escape in the dark night. He knows that Lu Han's knife can create thick fog. If it is in the dark night, coupled with the thick fog, Ma Ankang people really can't guarantee that they will be able to leave people behind. Sweden, water style, dragon surrounding technique. The Ma Ankang found the opportunity, and just as the two of them crossed each other, the Ma Ankang threw the two knives into the air and quickly completed the hand seal. A-level Sweden, water style, ninjutsu, the art of encircling dragons. Boom, 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 boom. The water surface around Lu Han burst at the same time, and 9 water dragons rushed out, attacking Lu Han in a spiral posture. The terrifying shock power made the space tremble. In this unstable space, Lu Han couldn't perform the teleportation technique at all. Attacks come from all directions. Sweden, water style, water armor formation. Lu Hanchao quickly completed the hand seal. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mirrors appeared on Lu Han's front, back, left, and right at the same time. It was a shield, formed by highly condensed Sweden, water-style chakra. It was connected and closed into a square. Boom. 9 water dragons hit the water armor array, and the water waves erupted. Completely engulfed the water armor array. I don't think you're dead. The Ma Ankang man caught the double knife flounder that fell from the sky, twisted his wrist, and turned a knife flower. The flounder crowd. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Countless blue sword lights shot out from in front of Ma Ankang. The flounder is originally a kind of fish, and the two knives together are the shape of the flounder, and the weapon tricks he unleashes also look like a flounder, fast as lightning, hitting dozens in a series, all fell into the burst of water. Damn you uncle! Lu Han suddenly appeared behind Ma Ankang. Scythe furious slash. The sound of breaking the air is like thunder. Lu Han escaped. The characteristics of the water armor array can form a relatively stable space inside the enclosed defensive space, which is enough for Lu Han to use the Shunshu technique to escape, so no matter whether the water armor array will be surrounded by dragons or not breaking it, or how powerful the flounder tide is, doesn't matter. Damn brat. Ma Ankang's reaction was very fast, and the chakra fluctuations when he arrived in the blink of an eye could not be concealed from him. Roaring and turning around was a knife. Poochie. Boom. Lu Han was slashed by a knife and exploded into a thunderous light. Not the real body, Lei's clone. The speed of Ma Ankang's reaction was outrageous. He actually realized the danger. It may be that Raiden Thunder-style chakra suddenly appeared to make him alert. Although he only had a moment to avoid the danger, he was relying on this. In an instant, he disappeared directly in front of Lu Han's clone, which exploded into lightning. Some kind of teleportation technique. He appeared on the water 30 meters away, his face even more annoyed than before. Boom. The water surface more than 10 meters away from the right rear of the Ma Ankang burst, and Lu Han rushed out and continued to rise, and at the same time quickly completed the hand seal. He just drank a potion underwater to replenish chakra. Sweden water style rain shower. Boom, boom, boom. Large water balls smashed down from the sky. The A-level Sweden water style ninjutsu developed by Hokage Senju Tobarama, the second generation of eyes, is a large-scale group attack ninjutsu, which is extremely powerful. It was not easy for Ma Ankang to dodge continuously, but it was not too difficult either. Asshole. While the Ma Ankang man was dodging, he threw a kunai in his hand, and more than 10 black lights shot at Lu Han. He wanted to interrupt Lu Han's technique. Lu Han did as he wished. Secret technique, shadow flash technique. Lu Han suddenly disappeared in midair, and in the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of Ma Ankang's body. A terrifying chakra wave appeared on his right hand. Rasengan took shape in an instant and slapped directly at Ma Ankang's body. Ma Ankang felt how strong Rasengan's chakra fluctuations were. His face changed, and he waved his knife to greet him. Boom. Knife collided with Rasengan, and the power of Rasengan exploded. The Ma Ankang man was blasted out, even with a knife. The double knife flounder was not damaged by Rasengan's attack. The Ma Ankang man still held the knife tightly, and was shot into the sky like a cannonball. What kind of technique is this? The Ma Ankang man let out a shrill cry, his expression horrified. In fact, he was not injured by Rasengan's attack, he was just shocked by the power of Rasengan. He had never heard of this technique before, let alone heard it. That's a lot of nonsense. Lu Han responded impatiently, turned around quickly, and swung his arms round and threw out more than 20 kunai. Hit the sky target, live target, don't be too easy. By Rasengan into the sky, was difficult to avoid, because even though the impact of Rasengan had not disappeared, he was still flying backwards to a higher place according to a fixed trajectory. Can't hide. More than 20 black lights have already caught up with him. Sweden water style Takikari's art. Ma Ankang had to use ninjutsu and spit out a large amount of water to charge down. This is very disadvantageous. How much chakra does it take to get rid of suffering? How much does it take to perform ninjutsu? But he has been forced by Lu Han to use ninjutsu to fight Lu Han's Kuwu. At the same time, Lu Han below completed another hand seal. Kaden fire style demon flame art.